Yeah, that's what he was saying. He's like, I got, that was I was wrong with that one, but it's like, man, come on, bro. You said, yeah, they going through it, but he, hey, but hey, I ain't gonna lie. I said that shit a long time ago too, Big Chill. I said everything Billy Carson is saying we already know. He wasn't saying nothing new. Yeah, but that's the yeah, that's the thing. He's not well informed. He doesn't know anything different than what we already know. Yeah, yeah. What's up, Christos? He was saying the gang of stuff. Yeah. He said, he said, Billy, okay, so what book are you talking about? He said the Kodak Synthesis, or whatever that shit called. And he was like, oh, I got that book right here. I got it right here. It's in my library. I said, God damn. Yeah. Apocrypha. What's up, Crow? Yeah. That is true though, Big Chill. If it sound good, they do fall for it. Hey, he's smart. Never did. Ne- what you say, Ozo? Yeah, for real, for real. Reals. But that's the thing. That's the thing. That but that's smart because that's what they do. They debate and they already have a biased understanding of what they debating on. So they can't even see the other side in the first place. Yes, yeah. No, we not. But it don't be lies. It just be some shit that they uh. Yeah. There's one underlying truth. What's up, UL? Oh shit. Thanks, UL, for telling me.
More informed than the other, they're going to make the other people look stupid when they start jumping around and doing this and doing that. But each religion teaches you that by the time you get to the point that you want to discuss your religion, you better be able to defend your religion. You know,
But but I
how can sorry, go ahead.
I think he was just taking a lot of the stuff that was already out there and he was just, basically doing
No,
videos on shit that was
no,
already out there. It wasn't like it
man.
was hidden or anything like that. And then it's like crazy because once you start to do that, you start to see people like it, so you continue to do that. And then some of the stuff just don't be truthful.
It
But
wasn't even science. There's logic and there's reasonability behind pseudoscience because sometimes pseudoscience leads to the real shit. But what he was saying was just pure bullshit, making up stuff. He was quoting stuff from 2000, a PDF file that he was claiming that was written 15, 1600 years ago.
that's
Why
what
do you
and
think the
that's why
Muslim
I used
man?
to back in the days, that's why I used to
Why do
say
you think
that
the
shit.
Muslim man was threatening?
I
Because
used to
they
be
knew he
like,
was doing
man,
some shit.
and then he
Yeah, but he
dropping
was saying
videos going hidden knowledge, and I'm like, man, you all you
what's
doing is
supposed
regurgitating what's already been said.
to be written in the third century, but yet it was quoting Dante's Inferno, which was like 15, 16, 17, whatever the fuck Dante's
And then
Inferno.
these dudes make themselves scholars.
It was a known
They
port.
make
Then
themselves scholars because they reading this information that's already been out there and making
him
it
as
seem
Genesis.
like they just found it or something.
Stories are the same, true. Another stories are the same. The Genesis Bible is nowhere close to the Inca and the Anunnaki fucking story. How all of our planets are the dead fucking soldiers of the fucking war of the gods. It's nothing the
Yeah.
fucking same. The splitting of the water. That's doing nothing. Nothing is the same. You can't say there's 14, 15,000 different in the cyanide Annex Bible than the St. James Version.
Hey,
Yo,
that's what. Hey, remember he did say that though. He did say that. And dude was like, "Well, we're all in the studio on live, but that don't mean we're all in the same studio on."
Four apostles from the fourth century, from 20 years. John's book comes out 20 years after Jesus.
Carson guy, yeah,
So,
Carson.
and it's not, you can check in a Muslim history, you can check in a Greek history, and a Jewish history. No Christian. Don't go to a Christian library.
Oh yeah,
Go to other library.
yeah,
And you
Max.
will see it.
Max said, Big Chill, Max said, if you got to defend your religion, you're worshiping something that has an ego.
Well, that's what I'm telling you. That's why I said I don't
Yeah,
defend shit. Y'all gonna learn, man. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a preacher. I'm no fucking soldier. When comes time when the war comes, and say Muslim man want to fucking do jihad, and if you don't confirm over, you're dead because it says it in the Quran. They can kill you. Then you all man, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna fight. But yo, man, it ain't my position, man. You don't know
Yeah.
what I know, and I don't know what I know, so I ain't gonna tell you nothing. It ain't up to
you
me, man.
talking
I
you
don't know the
talking
whole
about
story.
Billy?
Yeah, Billy
If I knew
Carson.
all the story, I would tell you. But I don't know
So
those stories. Bro, I'm an alien
you
abductee.
know
Fucking
what's
kid
crazy?
aliens took me for like fucking 9 years,
That's
bro.
what it sounded like.
And I'm still trying to be a spiritual fucking guy. I do DMT and I travel to other fucking realms.
His
Other
ass.
things going on in my life. Whether
Well,
I
dude,
believe in God, but other than that, I'm not
you know,
sure. Everything else I'm learning as I go. But I believe in the one
yeah,
God. I'm no pagan. I'm no Wicca. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe in the one.
yeah.
You
Well,
can't
But
tell
that's
me a
who
so
we
what
Christian.
was
talking
what
about,
was
Joe
crazy?
Crow. Crow, we talking
Yeah,
about
what's
Billy
crazy?
Carson.
Yeah, what's crazy is Billy said that the um the crucifixion wasn't in the Bible, and it's like, dude, are you crazy? Are you
No, it
really
wasn't.
gonna say
That
that?
wasn't in the Bible. It wasn't in the cyanide Bible, which was the
Yeah.
Sanic. Yeah, the cyanide Bible. It wasn't in there, and da 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 da. And then homeboy had to show.
But dude, yeah, but he
Just
thought
saying.
it was named the Sinai Bible because of the Mount Sinai, and that's not the reason why.
Exactly. That's
It
what we're
just
just talking
means
about.
book.
I don't
It
know if
just
you just.
means book
Yeah.
because Christians basically, yeah, I guess that scholar West there, he was talking about how Christians actually basically invented the first books.
That's my little
They
nephew.
made all their Bibles into books, whereas most people would make scrolls, you know.
Yeah, there was no Bible.
But
Never came until
but
1100. It was all just separate books of the teachings
yes,
of
yes,
this.
there was. Yes, there was. There was a Bible.
No, there wasn't
That
Bible.
dude, that's
There was
yes,
different books.
that the first
Yes.
gospel, dude, the first Bible was written in like 150. He
No,
showed
yeah,
it, man.
Paul wrote 50 years after Christ. Yes, in the first century. Yes, I'm not arguing
Yeah,
with you that way, but I'm saying the Bible of all the books, like the Bible, the Old Testament is the Torah from the Hebrew teachings.
yeah,
So
yeah,
before
exactly.
that,
And
when Christ
I
was
don't
one of
even
the
think,
four
yeah, I
apostles,
don't even,
their
yeah,
books are
I don't even
different.
count that, yeah, but I don't even count that Bible as a Christian Bible because it's it's the Jewish Bible.
No, but yeah, I hear
But
you. I hear you.
for some reason, someone was like, "Let's put them together," and that was a terrible idea.
That was the
Terrible
count
idea.
with Constantine. He threw some like, what was that? Mark is a fucking
But
evil
dude,
one, and different
yeah, you
people
want
are
to know what's
different. They
wild?
threw in stories
You
to fuck it up. That's why it's not really the true Christian Bible because it's really the four books, and you're good if you follow those original four books. You don't really got it. But I can't
yeah,
cause
yeah,
blast
yeah,
research.
yeah, the Gospels, yeah. And they're great books. I mean,
But I
well,
like
dude, then
Revelation
you got
and
that.
Genesis too. I
Yeah,
like
you got
Genesis.
that.
Psalms is beautiful too. Psalms is beautiful. Psalms is
Did
beautiful.
you guys did you guys hear about that? What was his name? Um, Alman Hill or something like that. He was on that Danny Concrete podcast, and he was saying that Jesus was using children as drugs. And dude, he was going like he was making up all kinds of stupid shit
Never caught that.
because the guy basically sounds like a pedophile and he's trying to blame Jesus for the reason why he's a pedophile. And it's like, I don't think that's gonna work, bro. But
Yeah, you got to join
the
Islam.
Anunnaki,
Muhammad.
the
You want to marry
Hey,
Anunnaki,
nine?
UL said
You
Jesus is nothing but a branch of Hebrew teaching.
no, it's not.
was a
No,
Hebrew
it's
rabbi.
not.
But yeah,
The
man,
Hebrew
fine.
don't even dude, the Jewish don't the Hebrew don't even acknowledge Jesus. What are you talking about?
They laugh.
Well, what
They laugh. You talk about
with
Jesus,
Billy,
and then they say
yeah,
you're a
but
sucker, man. He was a con artist. You know those people that play cards in the market and that change money? That's what he was. He was a con artist, man. You're falling for his con. That's what the Jews. He's a
It's
con
no
artist. He's
different
supposed to
than,
want.
he said it's no different than Buddha being a branch of Hinduism.
No, Buddha was the first Sikh, I think. Buddha should have a turban on, because the
So
Sikhs are
you
more
remember?
Buddhist.
Catholics don't need knowledge. All the
So
branches that
you
come
remember
out of
how?
it.
True. You remember how Billy used to go on about, the Anunnaki and what Zachariah Stitchin wrote?
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, I just listened to this podcast, and if you go on the Jeff Murrow podcast, he had a guy on there. Um, I'm just giving you a reference to back up what I'm about to say. But you remember how he said, Billy always talks about how he says, like, the Anunnaki, they came from outer space and they came here for gold and all that
Yeah.
shit. Did you know, dude, that shit is not even written in those clay tablets that Zachariah Stitchin, he just made that shit up. He
What?
just
I
made
didn't
it
know
all
that.
up.
I didn't know
He
that.
never
Yes,
had, he
he
never
made
had the,
it all up, bro. It's
found
all
them.
Oh.
bullshit.
Hey,
Minute
no,
to-
no,
Yes.
I believe you because Creto Mutwa, the one dude that Exile always talking about, was basically saying that when he even came down there, he was talking about the elephants and the elephants doing the shit, and they was making the lines that, well, he told him that the elephants made all those lines and stuff that they used the elephants to make the lines, but Zachariah said no, it was aliens, and he was like, man, that
Yeah,
guy is
no,
crazy.
dude. What?
Really?
Yeah. What's
It-
even
the God.
crazier,
I
true,
came to
is
abolish
he
the
said Zachariah Stitchin said he heard a voice, and the voice told him,
What?
you know, the voice told him all of this, and that's why, he put it in his books because
Was
he
he-
wrote a bunch of books, and it's all bullshit, dude. It's
Was he
like
on psychedelics?
No, he was in a battle with Muhammad, man, all that
He
bad
had
shit,
to-
he
man.
would
He got a
he
jail
would have
from
been
that.
better off.
What the
He would have
hell?
been better off.
But I think that's what Billy Carson basically was doing. He was following what was already a lot of shit that was already said that had heads turning. And I think he just kind of got on that momentum train of talking about those certain things because that's what people wanted to hear.
Well, he tried to
Brother
copy
Sanchez.
ancient aliens.
Yeah, bro, Sanchez.
No, aliens,
Yeah,
it was
but-
cool. When he brought over to religion, he fucked up because never had no
So,
proof.
I
Aliens,
was
you can say
watching
anything.
Brother Sanchez.
And
Sorry,
bro,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
Well, no,
I'm
I was
saying
just going to say.
There's no
Go
proof.
ahead.
But but the aliens, there's no
Okay.
fucking proof. But fucking when you get into shit that there's as historical facts, that's where he fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
But
yeah,
bro
but
Sanchez
dude, it
was
was
talking
crazy.
about what? You was talking about
He was
you
talking
saying
about
something about bro
Billy.
Sanchez.
No, he was talking about the whole Billy Carson thing, and he was saying, you get all these, and I'm just kind of repeating what he said to give you a gist, but he goes, Bro Sanchez says, I don't mean to bring in the white and black thing, but he goes, here's the thing. He goes, you get a brother that gets lifted up and has a lot of money, and what's he do? He keeps, using his black community, sucking money out of them,
Yes.
by charging them $300 on learning how to meditate, or come take my Anunnaki course, which is all bullshit.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
$600, and he goes, he could have
$50,000
been,
go to Egypt.
yeah, exactly, and he goes, he
cost
could have
like
been
$5
helping
grand.
the black community, and what's he do? He fucking uses it and
But-
mooches off of it.
But think
Well,
about
one
it
of
though.
those-
Look. When you think about that
They
though,
call
what
it-
you just said, Joe Crow.
The
only way that a person with these platforms can make it is because of the people. That's it.
Yeah,
That's where they make their money at. But then they get to a point to where they start using the people. When they get used to the people, it's almost like the same as a preacher.
yeah, it is.
A
It's
preacher does the
exact
same thing.
man.
Okay,
You
I'm
see,
gonna give you
even
this
Terrence Howard
information.
don't want him no more. Him and
I'm-
Terrence Howard had a podcast, man. And now Terrence Howard don't want him back on his
He's doing
podcast. So he
absolutely
must have
nothing different than Graham Hancock. Exactly. They are.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, man. They keep.
Huh?
Yeah,
That
Dude,
shit
they
is
keep-
funny.
well, they keep because it makes a lot of money. But the only thing I didn't get to fit in there was what he was saying is when you get up there, you could easily be lifting up other people in the community. Like, let's say, for an example, why didn't Billy Carson help out Calente? You know what I mean? 10 years ago,
Yeah.
when he was still alive, he could have helped him because at least Calente was actually trying to help people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, he's trying to be like a Dr. Sebi. He's selling his own herbal remedies, and he tried to use Sebi's name before, but he don't use it on his website or nothing no more. But the natural herbs, and it's basically garbage. It's generic shit he gets from China, and he resells it.
Because the history,
go to his website.
That's the thing that always kind of threw me off. I think, Crow, is the fact that the history of everything that happened before now, a lot of that shit is not helping us today. It's not helping us be better with each other today. It was like, what the fuck? So it's like, but that's what they're using it as, like a scare tactic to get people to believe this thing that they're shoving. And it's like, once I get you there, I got you now. You feel me? Now you believe what I believe because you seeing it how I see it now. It's like, bro, that shit is crazy. That shit is crazy, but it's done in so many different ways nowadays. We don't really see it. We see it, but we don't care.
ChatGPT will tell you that it's all blah blah. ChatGPT will tell you that it's BS. It will tell you, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we live in an age now where we don't have to be smart. At our hand, at our fingertips, we have the answers to everything. Any fucking thing. You want to do surgery on your cat? What do you want to do? You want to take a bullet out of your fucking stomach? You can do it, man. ChatGPT will tell you editorial.
But that's the thing,
it's fucked up. So we ain't stupid. You can't pull that shit on us no more. So this is part of our society evolving out of the nonsense. Okay, you think religion is bullshit? Okay, so that's good, but at least you're past this bullshit. You'll be able to filter out, like when you're looking for gold, you got to go through each mesh, smaller and smaller and smaller, till all you got left is the fucking truth. And it's going to happen. And time will tell. Time will tell. That's all I'm saying.
Didn't you say that? Didn't you say? I believe you said you come from Native American, or what do they call them in Canada? First Nation. Yeah,
yeah, man. East Coast. My grandfather, he was a native slave, because Newfoundland was owned by the Portuguese and the Spaniards.
Oh yeah.
Canada was coming from the British. The British didn't save us until when they
but
Jamaica.
It's crazy. You know what's crazy about that, though? They always blame the Portuguese when it wasn't all Portuguese. It was the Jewish Portuguese.
We had Vikings on our island.
When you go back, and that's the Jews were like the largest slave owners in the world, dude. They made it their whole business.
I'll tell you straight up. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but there ain't no Jews on the island of Newfoundland, bro. I don't know why. I don't know any Jewish people. I know people in all the different small towns all around on the island. On the mainland, Labrador, by Quebec, it's all Arctic, so not much people live there. Maybe there could be some Jewish people live on the mainland.
Billy Carson,
I don't know
what is Micmac.
Jews don't like Newfoundland. But we love Jews. We love Jews. We love
Knick-knack, paddywhack. What was you going to say?
Yeah. Micmac is a tribe, true. They're serious.
I thought he said knick-knack, paddywhack. I thought he was going to say a little riddle.
We're the ones that helped the British burn down your place, and the French natives from Canada. All the ones that took care of the region to the Queen.
Man, but that's the cold thing, right? Look, UL said, like, even to the story of money and gold, once people fully understood it, they realized everybody's doing the same willingly or not. And it's like crazy because like that fits in what Big Chill was saying, that underlying truth. It's an underlying truth, and it's like an overlayment of everything that's still doing the same thing, but it just seems different because I think we make it different from being just people and the way our minds think.
People that know the truth will never let us know the truth. We don't know the truth. I don't know the truth. None of us know the truth. The sub fucking government, the ops, the people that really run the fucking shit, They know what really happened
I
and
know
what's really happening,
yeah,
but they don't know shit. We're
We know.
living
they
out
keep
a
us,
fucking
yeah,
script.
No,
And it
they
all
treat us
started
like
too with
slaves,
Freud's nephew.
man.
Freud's nephew, this one thing that get us connected to merchandise, get us to want stuff. Before we were cool, clothes with our kids and food. Then Freud's fucking nephew came out with that subconscious fucking advertising shit and make us want more, different color suits,
yeah,
different color ties, different color t-shirts. That's when we fucked up.
yeah, because you
Freud,
want it to be
we
better.
gotta go
You
back
want
in
it to be
time. Kill
better.
Freud's nephew. Because then we wanted more. We went sidetracked. There's a whole other purpose in this spirituality, meditation, higher consciousness, higher frequency. But we're all
Well, dude,
caught
there's
up
not
in
supposed to
That's
be debt, man.
but that's
There's not
that's
supposed to be any debt.
that's the
It's
thing
insane.
though. That the higher frequency is like no different than a person thinking they're raising this illusional frequency with wanting
we're
Nikes
just
over Pro Wings or Nikes over Kmart shoes.
we
Well, I
It's the
done
don't think
same
anybody said
spiritual.
underlying
that.
frequency desire
We
that's
don't.
going on. Cause like even
That's
with our
the
mind,
slave.
we'll
Yeah,
say, yeah, we'll say, okay, I want to raise my frequency, but then like in this era, like the physical world, it's like I want to better myself or be better, so I want to have better
yeah.
things more, and it's like, what the fuck, bro? See, I can't be
Well,
doing
dude,
this
yeah,
shit.
You yourself, you raise your frequency, you raise your
dude,
frequency.
they used to go hide out in caves, man, up in the mountains to raise their frequency,
Yeah,
to get away from everything.
Like the great
And
philosopher said,
and kind of
Kanye West.
disconnect themselves
You see
from
what
the
I'm saying?
world,
Very true. The
trying to
great philosopher Kanye West. You're trying to get paid or you're trying to get laid. You're chasing one while the other's getting away. You know what I'm saying?
and
That's
ain't that
Kanye
true?
West.
Um,
West. And forget
hey,
about
Chill, didn't you
Tupac.
say
And what
though
the hell is
the
paved and
Native
popo?
American tribe you came from, they came from Atlantis? Didn't you say that?
When if Atlantis was around the Azores, if it was the Azores in between North America and Europe, the French colony there,
Yeah,
that little touch of islands
I think,
used to be a circular one, right? Because
yeah.
then in Africa, but there could have
Wait,
been many Atlantis too, eh? Because in Atlantis there was portals to connect to the other Atlantis. So what do you mean? I thought you said there was only one Atlantis. No, there was many
was
Atlantis.
it? Well, there's all those Egyptian statues down off the coast of Florida, and there's a book.
Yeah,
There's a
the
book
Azores had
where
that shit.
people who went there, they said that they were describing basically Tampa Bay, Florida, because there's 100-mile man-made bay.
man. What
The
the
Tampa
hell?
Bay, it's man-made,
Oh,
and it's
these,
almost 100 miles long,
what's there not?
and you can see it.
Madness.
They made it with sand, dude. It's huge,
Man,
I'm
and
also
the exact
there.
same
he said,
description
man, what
of
the
that city.
hell?
motherfucker Captain Cook. You know Captain Cook, the pirate, red beard. That's how my beard's red. My hair is black. I got that red beard shit. But that guy's like Genghis Khan. Wherever he went, he had sex with everybody. But he helped Newfoundland
Is
and the
that?
Well,
British.
yeah, the
But who?
red,
Raise
Where did
yeah, well,
that
the red
story
hair,
come?
the,
Where did that story come from about Genghis Khan and doing that? Is that like?
It's in the
who
history
knows,
books.
dude?
It's in the history books,
Yeah,
and it's
well,
in
yeah, the
genetics. They
history
tested
majors, they
people
just
in
blame
ancient.
some dude.
No, no, they didn't just blame him. They did testing, genetic
How
testing. They
many
test
kids
people all over
Genghis Khan
China. They
got?
test people genetically. Everybody has a piece of him in him. I think it's like one. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Ask
they say that,
ChatGPT.
but at the same
They use
time,
Genghis
maybe
Khan
they're
only
using
you
had
come,
15 children.
if you come from Europe, then
I-
fucking you got something
maybe they're
in you.
using him to
15
hide
children, bro. What are you talking
to
about? He
hide
had
something
thousands of
about it.
children.
Man,
He
my
had thousands of
grandfather had
wives
more kids than Genghis Khan.
on it, man. You got. Listen, don't make me Billy Carson, you man. Come on now, man.
I'm looking
Check
at it
your.
right now.
No, in
I
Asia, it's
know
like
that.
1/16
This
of the
man
world
between
got it
several
genetically.
hundred to 1,000. Oh, damn. Well, that was
There you
lying. It
go.
said the true
There you
number of
go.
children is unknown. Historians
You're
have
lucky we
estimated
can't for you.
between several hundred to 1,000 or more. With his
What did
primary
I
wife,
tell
he
you?
had between 8 and 10 children.
I ran with gangs,
Golly!
man. We rode those giant horses. You know those Carlsberg horses? That's what we
Wilt
had, man.
Chamberlain. He was Wilt
He was a
Chamberlain in the
great,
game, man.
he was a great warrior, man.
I didn't know that about Genghis.
Same with
I
Alexander
think that
too. Motherfucker
I
Alexander
think
the
the
Great.
Garden of Eden the Garden of Eden is at the center pole, or what we know as the North Pole,
What
and
if
it used to be tropical.
what if the Garden of
It
Eden
used to be
never
tropical up
existed?
there.
Hey man, my boy was talking to
Well,
Eve the
they
other
wipe it off the map,
day.
and then
My
we
boy
all
was
spread out
talking
from
to
there. We all came down from there. You know what I mean? Or spread out from there.
If you know anybody got a ghost box, man, try to talk to her spirit. I didn't know it was possible, but people do it. Even online, they got people talk to her. But my boy tapped into her, man.
I don't
Adam
think.
too.
I don't know,
Adam and
bro.
Eve. Adam is waiting. Adam can't
These
be like he's interrogatory, and Eve is there waiting for him too. They can't be judged. They're like the Jewish people. They got to wait till it's all over, and it ain't gonna be over for a long time. Trust me.
But I'm
It ain't
talking
gonna be
about
over.
the
Yeah, like the
the
Nephilim.
different creation stories. Like a lot of these
And
stories
he had
just don't
said,
make sense. It sounds
he
like
had
something
said he's
somebody
the
would have
devil, man.
made up like back then. It sounds like something they would have created. Like, oh, this is why it happened, and it's like, but they really don't know. Like the gods
No, they
came
don't.
down,
You know,
and
like, go
you
get a
know,
ghost box. Ghost box, bro. Make one, true. Talk to the fucking dead. Forget about us here, man. We don't know shit. We're fucking limited.
because
Get a
especially
ghost box.
when you think of like, because
Look at some
we would
ghosts.
have
Do
to
a
go
Tupac.
all the way back to when like language was first like actually created. And that's something that's impossible to kind of do if you think about it. Because if it wasn't no language, it's like we probably was mumbling umphs and
Well,
ums,
that's it. Before the
or moving
masters
like the
wouldn't let us
animals and
speak.
shit.
The masters wouldn't let
Well,
us
like,
speak. Language was something only for higher classes. Lower classes, that's what we did. We grunted and we hunt. That's why when you hear native languages and stuff, it's not these full words and explanations. When Japanese write their words are pictures that say this, that show the sounds what they're saying. But us, L is the straight line, straight like this. You know, that Latin. It was Latin. It all comes from fucking Latin because it's not like Arabic. If you look at Arabic, an old language and stuff, it's nothing like what we have.
Because if you
You know
didn't
what I'm
have
saying?
no
It's
language,
nothing.
how was you even able to explain anything that was going on at the time?
Draw the picture underground. You draw the sky. That's how people communicated back in the days. That's why the Christians have the symbol of the fish. The cross wasn't happening. No, say you see the fish. All right. We Christians
I
don't
didn't,
say nothing.
I didn't even learn about the fish until I was like in my 40s and shit.
well, yeah, but the fish represent the hats. Supposedly they were wearing those giant fish literally on their head.
The Pope
But
still wear that
at the
shit.
same time, supposedly those people came out of the ocean, and that's why they put those fish on their head. It was to
I
represent
think those
they
original
came
people
from
too, though,
water.
they didn't eat. The original people didn't eat meat. They just ate like bread and fish. They didn't eat meat because they were still going by the old like Jewish ways or some shit. The Jews back then didn't even eat like beef or pork or nothing. Now the Jews eat chicken and meat and shit, I think, right?
I have a
That's-
couple of sharks, and I got sharks in a fish tank, and they're freshwater sharks. And dude, they're smarter than I thought they were. They're just like any other pet. They know.
I saw snakehead. Snakehead, man, they're smart too. They're like snakes and fish. They're a mutation of two different species, and they're so fucking intelligent. Fish head.
It's crazy.
They're called fish
We
heads.
was, but
Oh,
we
sorry,
look,
snakeheads.
man. We didn't got all the way off the Billy Carson topic.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, like
We
they,
were talking
you know,
about the drones
all he had
before
to
that.
say,
I thought
all
we
he
were
had to
talking
say
about
true is, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize for being wrong. And that's all he had to say. And it wouldn't have been a big deal. But dude, he went to Wes's house and like banging on the
Oh
door.
yeah,
telling
like
him, "You
2 in the
can't put that
morning.
on."
Brethren.
Yeah,
He didn't go to Wes's house. He went to his brethren. You know the guy that he did the podcast at?
sure,
That's his
yeah,
next name.
yeah.
And
So he
the
went to he's like, oh, you can't put that online. And now he's trying to sue anyone that talks about it.
But bro,
It's
Billy was
stupid, man.
he just got out the hospital. He just got back. He almost died. Okay, he almost died. You see his wife and his wife's friends podcast. He almost died. Okay, you were debating a dead man. Did you see that? Those parts.
What are you talking about?
Wife,
What
his
kind of
wife was-
nonsense is that?
the night before, because he had a band-aid. If you notice at the beginning of the
Oh,
debate,
he
he had a band-aid
had
on
a
his left
Band-Aid?
side, but he takes it
Oh,
off.
Jesus.
Yeah. So she said that he was ill. He just got back.
It wasn't a debate.
He almost died of malaria because he just got
Yeah,
out the
but it
But
wasn't
he
a
hospital.
said,
debate.
Nothing
They
happened
were
to him. He
just
wasn't
talking, man.
seeing
They were
him
both
all
respectful.
over,
It wasn't a debate. Did you watch any of it, Big Joe?
everything
Yeah, I watched the
outside
whole
of
thing, man.
drug league
I
to
called.
a
I
Yeah,
thought.
it
trade.
wasn't. They were both
Everything.
respectful. They were just. He
Yeah,
was
I
just
thought.
answering questions
Yeah, Billy should
because he
have
was
fucking
like,
stuck
"Here's."
around. It wasn't that bad. I would have liked to seen part 2. And Billy,
Yeah,
Nah,
like,
Billy
all he
looked
had to
at
do was shut up.
Billy
yeah.
looked
All
at
he had to do was
awkward.
shut up.
Billy looked at awkward. Like,
Yeah,
Well,
because
like he
he.
wasn't
Yeah,
ready.
because his ego, man.
Yeah, he looked
Yeah,
at
because
hella
his
awkward.
ego, you know. He
And
was like,
then the
"Oh,
other,
I'm
what's the
wrong.
other guy
Oh."
that was sitting next to him doing the interview? He kept saving him. He was
That's
playing
Billy's best friend,
captain.
bro.
Yeah, he kept
Yeah.
saving him, trying to go off on different topics.
But
And you
bro,
feel
Bill,
me?
yeah, but Billy threw him under the bus. Billy said he wasn't trying to save him. He was trying to. That's the guy Billy's suing, his next door neighbor. He said that
Yeah.
guy is supposed to be a moderator. He kept jumping in. He was sabotaging me too. He's evil, part of the cult to the conspiracy, trying to take me down. You think you know people? I know
I
billionaires.
know.
Okay?
That's
But he,
I'm
wild
part
because it seemed
he
like he
was
was trying
just
to
on.
save me. What you say, Crow?
You
The
got
question is how did he get on Joe Rogan? He must have paid, right?
yo.
Is that what's
You know
going on?
I don't
guy?
know.
You know that Navy SEAL guy, the bald-headed guy? I forget his name. I
Yeah.
got him on my phone still, but I watched that
Did
dude.
you?
But after he had Billy Carson on there, man, and he even responded to my comment. I told him, bro, I had more respect for you. It's not about my religious status or nothing, but everything he said, you never fact check. Even PDP said, okay, so if I'm going to get somebody here to fact check, you're going to come back, right? At least he called him on it. But that Navy
That's
SEAL guy
the
let him go on with bullshit, bro. I haven't watched that
that's
guy's
the only
podcast.
thing. That's why I couldn't never understand. Like even when we
He been
was
to the
here
war?
and
Yeah,
people
no.
was talking about Billy Carson. Like you see Billy Carson. Every time I went and looked at his video, he wasn't saying nothing new that I didn't
And I
know.
told you he was
Yeah.
debunked, man. You got
No,
Drizzy
no.
Drizzy.
Yeah. He's paying them to be on their shows. That's what he's
Mistake.
You
doing.
think so? I don't know. I think when
Yeah.
somebody just starts to catch fire, people want to hurry up and grab that person, and they'll pay you to come on because they know the interview is going to be fire. So it's like they'll grab that person and bring them up. Like, oh yeah, we got to check out this guy because that's the type of shit Joe Rogan is on.
Sometimes, no, you're right.
These
You're right.
Christians are
Sometimes,
taking
but other
bro.
times, you ever notice like
Okay,
out of
Jesus
nowhere
said,
he'll have.
don't throw away your sword. Just put it down. But make sure your sword's ready. He didn't say throw away the sword, you know. Turn the other cheek, turn the other cheek. But when it's
Yeah,
time, you need to raise that sword because I give you the shield
yeah.
and you hold the
And then
sword.
the
But
question,
you is right
the
though.
question
You is
is,
right, Crow. A lot of people do pay to get on. You know.
they have to because like he'll like you can tell like you ever seen the ones like he'll have a movie star on and like they barely have anything to talk about because they don't know how to relate to real people and Joe Rogan will carry the whole interview and just talk about shit. You know what I mean? And then like
Yeah.
at the end they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got a new movie coming out next week," and it's like, "Oh, so this whole podcast was nothing but an ad for your new
Yeah,
your
a
new
book. Oh,
movie."
I got a new book coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what
Yeah,
Larson was saying.
A
exactly. It
new
was
book.
promotion. It was a promotion,
Yeah,
basically.
because they know if they pay $250,000 and he lets them on the show, like they're gonna get that money back
Can someone
easy.
spell the name? He said, "Can someone
But
spell the name of who they are talking to for no Englishman like me?" Oh, Billy Carson or what's man? You don't
Joe
agree?
Rogan,
Joe
were you
Rogan?
talking about Sean Ryan,
No,
the
I don't
Sean
know
Yeah,
who you
Ryan
talking about.
podcast?
yeah, that's the Navy
Or
SEAL guy. I haven't watched his shit
yeah,
since I don't care who he has on it. I keep getting the pop-ups. I'm still subscribed. But since he had Billy on there and I left a huge comment, he commented to me. Enough people commented on what I said, and they agreed on it, man. And fucking, I haven't watched the show since, man.
You know what it reminds me of, Crow? It reminds me of like a comedian, right? Like a comedian that
yeah,
come into play and they write a little script for to go do their little comedy show, but they will tell the same jokes for 10 years.
yeah.
For 10 years until they try to reach everybody with the same jokes.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
like,
do you think Well, do you
Yeah,
think
Billy Carson.
Dave Chappelle isn't the same guy? Do you think that
Yeah,
true?
I think he is. I think he's the same
You
person. Like,
do?
well, yeah, when you think
Well,
about like us when we age, like even if you look at women or men, like we change. We get a lot thicker. We don't, a lot of people don't stay
but
just
it's you
skinny.
don't think it. Yeah, you don't think it's strange though how like when he left for Africa and then when he came back, he like was it Jim Brewer there? He was
So
saying like he doesn't think he's the
the
same
people.
or something. They did something to him because like he don't even like they were best friends and like he said once he came back and he signed that contract with Comedy Central, like he don't even talk to him no more. It's like they were never even friends.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
how.
almost like
Yeah,
did they train a lookalike? Did they get a lookalike and just train the dude and shoot Chappelle right in the head, and because you know how much
allegedly.
money, you know what I mean? If they can get someone to there was this movie,
But
it's called
that's
Paradise
the
Island.
Who gonna tell his jokes though? Who gonna tell his jokes?
yeah.
Like he got new comedy. That's Dave.
Yeah, yeah, but anyone can write comedy, right?
Not
The stuff
all
he's
day.
doing.
Well, they all be doing it. If you know what I'm saying.
Dude,
But not
a
like
lot of yeah, but a lot of comedians don't write their own jokes. Once they get so big, because if they say the wrong thing, they get canceled or
Yeah, they
I
like
don't
kind of
know.
hire a whole list, just same as the rappers and anybody else. They just hire a
Eh,
whole production team that actually, yeah, keep them on their track.
I'm just saying because
He
like if
said,
you look at the teeth and stuff, like it kind of looks like the same guy, but when you look at the pictures, like he was super skinny. And I
yeah,
get it, people gain weight and everything, but he just seemed like one of those dudes that could eat 15 pizzas a day and never gain weight.
yeah,
Because you know what
yeah.
I mean? He was just like
But
wicked
he was
bony.
smoking crack.
UL
He was probably
said UL said it's the same routine since any TV show with the host they bring the people on when they have a book or a movie or a song. It's always been marketing for belief. Going back to what
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
told people, don't
But
judge the
yeah,
things, analyze them, and you can see the tools for yourself in your
true,
own
true.
morals and
We
beliefs.
need you
to
to
an
go
Asian
podcast,
girl. He
brother.
can be in front of black, white, and Asian people because he's married to an Asian girl. That Asian market is way bigger than any black and white market worldwide. The guy's a
Nah.
billion-dollar
I
investor.
I be thinking that, Crow, right? I be thinking that, and then when I sit back and like somebody's like, cause I don't watch Joe Rogan. I'm not gonna hold you. I watched some episodes where it was certain things that they were talking about. But
Yeah.
when I go and I listen to other podcasts, it sound like this one. So it's like, you know,
You watching, man? You watching Budden? You watching live on Fig?
whoever I go and watch, it don't
You
matter.
be
It be like
watching.
the
You be
same as
watching
here.
Adam 16, right? Don't lie. You be
Nah,
watching Adam.
nah.
You be
I
watching
watched
Wayne,
Adam for a second.
Little
For a
Game.
second, when it was crazy going on, I was watching it. But lately, who I've been
Like
watching
substance.
lately?
What
Adam
about that shit?
22.
What's going on? Brick Baby.
Yeah, I was
What's up with
watching
Brick
that when
Baby?
that was going on. But
Calling
then
out
it,
man.
but it
Say
it,
big
it
pun.
got it went too far. You feel me? It's like they started just sharing the same shit over and over again, and it's like
What is
I'm
it?
talking about the beef with Brick Baby and Pun over there on Figaro, man. You know what I'm saying? With AD and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
people in
I
LA.
see that.
There's no paperwork on Pun. Pun don't know no David. Little D, Little David. Who the fuck's Little David? And because Brick Baby said that, now even Adam's telling him, say, yo, bro, you didn't show the paperwork. You can't just say that shit. Maybe in New York and in
Yeah,
Toronto,
see,
you
I
can say that
I ain't
shit.
even
Yeah.
I ain't even up on that right
Oh,
now because
man.
I've been stopped watching this shit for some reason. It just ain't been appealing no more.
What are you
No, I
watching?
know
You
a
watch?
lot of it's gone
Let's do
downhill.
a topic. What about that Hawk Tui coin? Anybody get scammed by Hawk Tui? I made a couple $100 because I knew it was going to be a scam. So I was
And
in
you'll be
3 hours.
I'll do it going.
Yeah, the Hawk Tuah coin. I made a couple $100 off that thing. Nothing too crazy because I was like, we'll see what happens in the morning and then I'll get back in. But by the morning, it was a fraud. It went from
Well, yeah.
estimated 500 million, from 51 million down to 9 million, and the people own like, oh, it was a big scam. But I got out early, so I was good, man. I was good.
I've
Talk
been
to a girl.
watching.
You didn't get
I've been
I mean,
watching.
all
What's the
just
name, man? I've been watching Drewski.
Just yeah.
Yeah,
it. I seen him
and
what's
chasing the
and
color.
like I've never really watched Bobby Hemmett, and like I've been watching some of his stuff, but like I don't know. It's like the shit just man, that shit be crazy, bro. It's like you watching the same thing over and over again. It's just a story, the same story told by a different person.
yeah.
Shit, that's how it's been forever now. Every story is the same fucking story now. They just tell it a different way.
Yeah, a
You
different
got
way.
flying vehicles over Jersey the past week, man. Come on, some serious shit's going down, Ski, man. Forget about Broski. I want one of those vehicles.
Which one?
Dude,
Which
I
one you
think
talking
they're
about? The
doing
trip
that.
report on South
Yeah,
Like,
Beach?
there's
like
a
all of a
Billy
sudden,
Carson.
everyone forgot how to use a shotgun. Come on, man.
Well, now
Those
the
are, I
Yeah.
mean,
people,
they're all drones. They were all
they're asking
drones.
for
It's like, just
permission to shoot
shoot
at
it
them.
down.
Yeah, they're
I
asking
mean,
permission. You're not supposed to shoot in the sky. But right now, the
shotgun's
politicians
not
in
gonna take
Jersey
that.
are asking permission from the government to shoot
Yeah,
these things down because the other day in Jersey, an ambulance had to transport somebody
They
from a
can't
crash,
shoot them down.
and they
Every
couldn't
time they
fly in
approach
the
them, they
sky
shoot on them, man.
because of the
They
drones. So it's already affecting
You
life
sound
right
like you
now.
far away, Corey.
What up, Court?
Oh
But it
well, they
affected
can't shoot them. They can't shoot them down. They already been trying. Every time they get up on them, they go off their radar. They go dark. They disappear. They can't do that with them fucking
Yeah,
things.
but a guy on Reddit had a gas propelled fucking drone and he sent it up there, man. And he got little Crossmore pictures. It's out there.
Man,
It's out there.
I see.
Man,
He
Look,
got out.
I knew
I just
about
watched
them.
2 hour
They're
news
different
It's
vehicles, bro.
crazy
They're
because
different vehicles. They
I
have
knew
roll
about them
bar cages
drones.
and shit, bro.
Hey, I remember like because
And there's
my
humans
brother
inside of them, bro. There's
my
humans
son's
inside.
my son's
No,
uncle
they're not. No, they're
my
not.
son's
They're
uncle is
children.
a
You lying.
Navy SEAL. He was a Navy
Yeah, the
SEAL, and I
people try
remember
to
he
bring
came to
you with
my
the
house
camera. You can't do
with a
it. You try
drone.
to turn the
That
electricals
shit was
on, drone.
hella
It doesn't
huge.
work. Yeah.
That
The
that
electrical
drone he
doesn't
had was hella huge. That was like 10 years ago. And like when he turned it on and that shit shot in the sky, bro, you couldn't even see it. It just disappeared.
Oh
It went
yeah.
so high.
If you try to turn
And
the
it was
drone up,
huge.
it
It was
won't
a
work.
big one.
I
Yeah,
got
man.
one
But
that
these
got ran.
are caravans, bro. They're cars. These ones are vehicles.
So now like
Yeah.
drones, like after 10 years, bro, I'm like, that shit is so like you see a lot of people with drones, with different kind of drones that be flying them.
Oh,
that's
people
what I'm
have
saying.
drones
can't
that
send
fly, bro.
link.
My friend has one that two people could sit in and you can fly.
You
They're
gotta
out there.
post it. You
They're
gotta
They're out
they're
post that link
trying to
right here in the
ban them.
general in
there. My
Discord.
brethren has two of them that
They're
can
gonna
fly.
make them
One
illegal.
No,
That's
They're
bro.
why
doing
Remember
it
a
to
lot
make
a
them
lot of
illegal.
drones you have to like almost register that shit under
Yeah.
something.
If you
Yeah,
don't
it's a
want to
certain
do
size.
remember
you
that
don't
time, man, I fucking
Like
hit the
some of them.
fucking Changa, the DMT pen fucking hit it hard, and I told you I went into the future, not too far. I went to 38. We're now in 24. I went 14, 15 years into the future, and I told you at that time there was no vehicles on the street. It was all vehicles flying in the sky, and you didn't fly them. They were all automated fucking vehicles, man. Remember I had that trip? I think I told
Yeah,
you,
but
man.
that's hey, I can see
38.
that coming already.
14 years, yeah, within 14 years, there was no cars on the fucking road. No, I think I saw cars. Now there was a few cars, but the sky was full of flying vehicles.
Cause I
Like
was watching Borderlands.
Hey, China about to do.
Remember on
China about to
Borderlands
do.
when she got dropped off in that spaceship? She got dropped not in the little it was like a little cargo little ship that she got dropped in and it just dropped her on the planet. I said that's the type of shit they gonna have, bro. You know that, Big Chill.
You know that they're gonna have flying cars. We gotta have floating cities. So come on now, catch up, like mayonnaise and mustard. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, China about to do the flying cars right now. I've just seen the ad. They want to have like 500 of them within like the
Try
next
to
5 years or so.
try to post it
Yeah.
down there
That's
as
what I'm
peace.
saying. What's his name? Elon
Okay,
Musk
yeah, there you go.
released
I
a
had to make
couple
you a
months
moderator to be able to post the link.
a couple months ago, these flying vehicles. China released last year. Do a search right now. China's got all kinds of them, man. So
That's
within the
what I
next
just said.
it's supposed to come. Yeah, and they're like drone vehicles, not like UFOs, like drones, exactly like the ones they seen over Jersey. People seen them with their eye, but they can't record them on the camera because if you try to zoom in, it makes a bubble around it. And if you send an electronic drone up, you can't. It drains your batteries. You can look on YouTube. People try to send it up before it leaves their house. Batteries drain. She's like, this is a full one drain. But I told you, there was a guy on Reddit that fucking had a gas-powered fucking drone with a recorder camera, not send a live feed, because you couldn't send a live feed. It would cut it off. This has been going on for weeks, man. People been trying to do shit. And buddy on Reddit sent a gas-powered up there. And he took fucking pictures, and there was people. One of the drones was like 5 people, 2 people, 3 people in the front, 2 in the back. There was one was just like 2 people. Like I'm telling you, there was people in the fucking drone, and they're coming from the base in Jersey, man. That's must. That's must. But how the fuck making America be afraid? You don't know if it's China.
They don't know where they're coming from, man. They don't know
And
where
you
they're
remember
coming from.
Remember that
It's coming
whistleblower
up.
that came out last year? Remember he came out into the Senate? I'm watching it now on TV. I don't know why I put on here. The UFO Congress they had. Remember he
Yeah.
was saying that they were going to fake a UFO landing or UFOs or something. He said
Yeah,
that
Project
some
Bluebeam.
That's gonna
and
be
this is
dope.
what's happening now. They're making us think it's UFOs. Meanwhile, it's just billionaires driving around in the new toys that everyone's going to have next year. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Let
because
us
they
know.
got
That's
flying cars and shit.
This morning we've seen the press conference with the mayor and the senator from fucking New Jersey, and they're saying, please, just let us know. We want to know if it's friendly, if it's not, because whether Biden gives us permission to shoot, people are going to start shooting. So please let us know what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they gonna do away with all the airplanes and they gonna just come with drones, drone-like type planes. Like it'll be smarter. I think that'll be smarter because they easy to control. It's like,
Well,
why
yeah, you
not?
just type in where you want to go and it'll fly there.
It'll fly there.
Yeah. They should have had that years ago.
Yeah.
But stupid Elon Musk is like, oh, they're noisy. Why would anyone want to have a drone vehicle? And then you just put like a big airbag underneath it, so if it friggin' falls out of the sky, it just, you have like an airbag that cushions the fall, right?
With anything, they gonna have some wrecks. It don't matter what that shit is.
Yeah, friggin' self-driving vehicles or what.
Yeah.
But the guy that was trying to talk, he kept trying to talk and he was getting interrupted. I don't know his name, but
Corey.
what was his name? Is it Kevin?
Oh.
Or the other guy?
Where? Here?
His mic is like real muffled. Yeah, on here.
Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
Oh, what? What'd you say?
He said it sounded like you in the bathroom.
It still sound like that?
He was trying. No, that's a little better. But he was trying to say something. Just give him some time if he wanted to say something.
Shit, I don't remember now.
Yeah.
Hey,
It was about the drones.
True, you still got the same number? 'Cause I tried to call you this past weekend. And you was
Oh
doing
no,
some
I
funny
got to
shit.
send you my new one. I got a new one.
Yeah.
I got a new number.
All right.
Well, what you should get a Google Voice number, True, for like your community. So it's like you just use an app. So like they just call that, or like I don't know.
Man, it'd be hard to. I think I got one too. I think I got.
Yeah,
a Google
and
Voice
it'll
number.
call your phone. You just like connect it to your phone, and when they call that number, it'll call right to your phone. You know what I mean? So even if you change your numbers or anything,
Drone car will be here.
and then and then it has like a separate voicemail and everything. I don't know.
He said drone car will
I'm
be
just trying to help.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that because I got one. But nah, he
I want one
said
of those.
that there's peace. He said drone car will be hell. Imagine drunk Uncle Joey crashing on your children's room while sleeping. Nah, it's not gonna happen because remember on iRobot, the cars drive themselves.
It's gonna be all AI.
I want one of those dragonfly fucking helicopter things in Doom, man. That's what I want.
Oh
Make
yeah,
one
them was
smaller
dope.
though, like,
Them was dope.
yeah, like a snowmobile, because snowmobile have rotary engines in them. which the airplanes have rotary engines, you know?
Yeah.
So like they have high torque. But like
Yeah.
imagine flying a snowmobile or like a motorcycle through the air. They
I
have
think.
those in Dubai.
Yeah, I seen them. I seen somebody make one of those flying motorcycle ones. They did it like a drone though.
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
seen that shit too.
But I'm like a
And
drone. Like if you can buy a toy drone with that, you can just push buttons and that motherfucker will do stuff. Like I know they can build like a. I know they got them. They got them. Watch. I know they do.
you know what video I just saw a video, right? And this kid, he goes, I want to see if we can get anything to burn inside of a vacuum chamber. And he was putting like rocket fuel and friggin' thermite, which is thermite will cut through steel. It'll melt through steel. And he
Yeah.
was lighting it with lasers inside of a vacuum, and nothing would burn, man. It was wild. I
Oh
was like,
man,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I didn't see that
you
one.
can't have fire in the vacuum. You can't have fire in the vacuum.
No, you
Like that's
can't.
why Earth,
Crazy.
that's why Earth
I know.
only with fire.
Say that again,
I,
yeah, Corey.
I said Earth is the only planet that you can light a fire.
Yeah,
Now
you can't.
the sun burns
They're like,
because it's nuclear fusion. It's not really on fire like the sun and shit like that. So they don't need the oxygen. But fire needs oxygen, so it ain't gonna burn in the vacuum.
I'm like, yeah. Now back to Billy Carson. Now I'm just playing.
Hey, I didn't see what happened because I came in late on that. What? Because was he with Matthew LaCroix?
No, he was
That the dude?
did an interview with the. I don't know who that was. He did an interview with. I had
his
just
name was
got it.
Wes.
Yeah,
He was
Wes.
he was a scholar. I think he was a theology scholar. And basically, Billy was saying like the crucifixion wasn't in the Bible, and basically what Wes did was went and he got the original copy from a museum on the website of the first New Testament Bible, and he showed him that it was in the Bible.
But there's still no real evidence that Jesus existed, though.
No.
It's still not
All right.
any.
Thousands of documents, dude. Don't be like a Billy now. Go in the
Man,
history
I'm
books.
just saying that
I know, I know.
nah.
Yes, other people, non-Christian people, brother. Okay, non-Christian people, brother. Non-people, the Jewish people, the Greek people, the Romans at the time. It happened, bro.
Yeah,
That
no,
guy was there.
what
Now, whether he
they
died and came
basically,
back to life, that is a question of faith. But the guy was there. They crucified him. He said shit that his people weren't saying, and he was crucified for it because he sat up on the Sabbath day, Friday, the holy day, and started preaching on the steps. That alone got him killed. Forget about saying that
yeah,
he was God and doing miracles and
yeah,
stuff. But other things, there's proof
yeah,
there.
you're right.
Greek,
True, you're
Greek
Big Jill,
scholars,
you're right.
Hebrew scholars,
And
it's there. People that don't even believe in Jesus. The Jewish people
and
prove
he
him the
said,
most.
yeah, what the reason why the Jews didn't like him is because he told them you don't have to go by all these stupid laws that your priests keep coming up with, like the Talmud.
No,
The
you know what
Talmud,
he did? Killed the
yes,
tiers. There was
Talmud.
tiers. There was Gentiles and Jews, the chosen ones, and then the ones that you're going to get not the goat stick. You know what I'm saying? But then he came and said, yo, no, everybody's equal, master and slave. There's
Yeah,
equal.
the funny thing about that though, Big Chill, is did you know it's illegal to take a DNA test in the state of Israel? So they can't even prove, you know what I mean? They can't
He's a
even prove
Christian.
what they're saying because it's illegal.
What?
I don't know. Israel is a different world. It's a world on its own there, man. And it's on planet Earth, but it's another. They run things different.
But not even talking about that. So what he said, he told the basically the priest that kept all the law. He told the people that all those laws were made up and it had nothing to do with you getting, getting into heaven when you die. He said, none of that. He goes, the only way to please God is to come through me, obviously. But
But that's what I didn't like too. That was another message that came later on
yeah,
the mount there. He said that pissed him off too. But I'm saying when he went to the changers in front of the temple that were changing money, scamming people, and kicked out all the scammers, that's a proven fact. That happened. That happened. That guy, whatever his name was, went and kicked all the scammers out. And the Jews didn't like that because the Jews were corrupt. They were holy people, but they were getting paid from the gangsters at the time. You know what I'm saying? So that he just pissed off a lot of people, man. He pissed off a lot of people. But what's his name? Whatever the guy who said to the people, I can't find no way to crucify him. You know what I'm saying? And on that day, they were supposed to free somebody. They wanted to free him, but the Jews, because they held a high priority in their government, said, no, we got to kill him because he's being blasphemy. He's going to start some fucking cult. But if they would have known nowadays, don't kill them because once you kill them, you make them a martyr. You see what they did to Bin Laden? They could have kept him alive and put him in prison like El Chapo. But no, they killed Bin Laden and they made him a martyr. And since then, Muslim has grown. Keep him alive. Don't kill the prophet. Keep him alive, man. Give him wedgie every day.
Yeah.
But they killed him. And then he came back. Then apparently they killed him, and apparently he came back, and enough people witnessed it. So now, holy fuck, for sure he's going to start a cult now. Before he's going to start a cult, oh, fuck, Judaism is over with now. We're not the chosen ones no more. It's these fucking followers of this fucking guy we nailed to the stick, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like someone asked a good question. If there are different race of Jews, how is it that it's their, like, how are there all different colored Jews, yet they say it's their race? You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if it's a race or a belief.
It's a religion.
Maybe they're the chosen ones of God.
It makes no sense. It's
no
a
matter
religion.
what, they go by the Torah. They go by the Torah. They don't go by the Bible or the Quran. They go by the Torah. So they're the chosen ones of Moses. They're the chosen ones that Moses led out of Egypt, whether they're black, white, or Chinese. If you were in Egypt and you left with Moses, you were a fucking Jew. Okay? Could have been Pakistani, could have been Indian, black, white, Chinese. You left Egypt with Moses because Egypt had all kinds of slaves. Egypt had all kinds of slaves. And if you left Egypt with Moses, you're one of the original Jews. Because that's when the prophecy started to live on itself.
Exactly.
You know
but that's the thing. Yeah, but Big Chill, listen, so they made it illegal, though, to DNA test for that. You can't.
Well, I don't know.
It's illegal to test for that.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, absolutely. Google it.
My brethren just went to a Jewish community, or a girl, my brethren's ex-girlfriend, Coco Girl, check her on YouTube. She just went to like a black Jewish site in Israel, man. And they went through some struggles before, but Israel now this is like a different vibes. Check out Coco Girl. Last week, I believe it was, she's in Israel. She went to and they're really cool to her.
Like,
really cool to her.
It's like this, Big Chill. Are they Jewish or are they
black Jewish compound in Israel? They treat the black Jews better than the Christians. The Christians, they hate them in Israel. They want them out, like the Muslims. But the black Jews,
always have.
They're cool. Yeah, they don't like Christians. And you see, recently they want to build that prison. They just found something also acknowledges the Old Testament too, true, that acknowledges the Bible and Jesus. Some old papers in Israel, they just want to make a prison. So they checked out and they found underground Christian church, underground, where the Christians used to go, man, like first, second century shit. Crazy stuff. Just recently, just in this last week. In this last week, they found it in Jerusalem. Because in Israel, if you want to do any digging, you got to do archive stuff too, because that whole place is history. The Muslims, the Jews, the Christians, they fought for years over there. You know what I'm saying? And the Muslims were the last ones to own it. And then the world came in and gave it to the Jews, right?
Well, it's funny because some of the oldest paintings of the crucifixion doesn't show Jesus in Israel or anywhere near there. He's in Constantinople. which is in Turkey, you know, which is some really interesting stuff. And there's graves marked there, you know, that Joshua died here and was buried here. But the paintings of the crucifixion show the whole city of Jerusalem. I mean, of Constantinople, and the Romans took over the city. That's why the city was named Constantinople. And then eventually they changed it. They changed it to
when Christianity
Istanbul.
went to Egypt hard, and then the Orthodox, the Coptics, I like them vibes still, you know, and they sort of went over there. You know, that's why you see different portrayals of the baby Jesus and stuff, but really nobody don't acknowledge that baby thing. You know what I'm saying? The baby Jesus. It's what he did when he was old. Even Billy said, remember Billy said he went to India, he went to Egypt. There's no proof of that. It's a good story told. Went and chilled with Buddha and got the Christ consciousness and all. That's a good story, but there's no proof of that shit. We just don't know what happened from 12 years old. But it says that he went to, where did he go at 12 years old? I can't remember where he went. Nazareth.
I still can't.
And that's the last we
I
hear of
still
him.
can't.
We're 12 years old in the Bible, in the Torah, or with the Bible, it says from 12 he went to Nazareth. And then we hear of him at 33, shows up on the Sabbath day preaching on the stairs. And then through John and other people, we hear the journey of how they met him. You know what I'm saying? But he just comes out of nowhere. But yet we know about his mother and stuff. But at age 33, he just sort of pops up. We don't know nothing about 12.
He
To
said
30.
Hebrew,
And, right? He has a
UL
lot of
said
good
Hebrew
knowledge about
manuscripts is not
psychology.
history either. It's them injecting themselves into the past.
Yeah, but either way, it's the same thing that's been around for 2,000 years. Just like the Muslim people say, oh, the Holy Book
That's
has been
interesting,
corrupted. No, we
Judaism.
have proof from the first century. So it hasn't been corrupted.
Judaism based on
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
that's true. I mean, fucking man wrote it. It's corrupted.
Hey, man,
The
look
man
to the
wrote it.
Sinai
Chosen
Bible.
individual.
You know the Bible that's
That's
named
crazy.
after the mountain, Sinai? Yeah, look at the Sinai Bible.
The man put his hands on it. Man put his
Look
hands
at
on it.
the
It's corrupt. I don't give a
Sinai
fuck what you're
Bible,
talking about.
okay? And then after that, go read the book of Spartacus, okay? And you'll know everything, okay? You'll be a Carsonite.
No, you'll know what they tell you, you know.
Weird Billy Willie, man. He'll show you the light. Straight to the furnace. Burn, burn.
You was cold.
But what about his fraud shit too, bro? He used this old person's ID to defraud this old people. He got caught in a car with fucking meth. Yo, the guy's, I don't know how he went through, how someone didn't expose even his paperwork from then. And then he tried to say it was this guy named Terrence Howard, not the actor or the guy who does the podcast, this other guy with the same name that used his name. He wasn't even in the car, but yeah, you see the mugshots of the night in the car when he got caught with the meth and the fake checks and the credit card. It's him, man. Terrence Howard don't even look like
it sounds like him.
It's messed up, man. No, this guy that was in the podcast showed all the paperwork.
Listen, no one is spiritual who drives a Bentley. I don't care what you say. You're not spiritual if you drive a Bentley. I don't care what you say.
I know, and you got an elevator in your house.
That car is proof that your ego ain't in check.
And a theater
they're
room.
starving children.
That's what I'm saying.
They're starving. Yeah, they're starving children, and you're sitting there spending $1 million on a car. It's ridiculous.
I never heard Billy claim to be spiritual.
That's what Billy said. Billy said they broke and I got money.
Yeah, man. He said he
Yeah,
rich,
he
man.
wrote that stupid book. Woke doesn't mean you're broke. You guys remember that? What was that, like 4 years ago? Something like that?
That ain't no lie. That ain't no lie. Sure.
Yeah, it
I don't
is.
remember that shit.
Just regurgitating.
If you're spending millions of dollars on
That's
shit
it.
you don't need, that proves that you're not spiritual, that you're not at a high vibration. I mean, because when you are at a high vibration, you're in the vibration of service to others, not service to self. And all Billy cares about is himself, and that is it.
No vibration, man. That's what some frequency people is. I mean, everybody's roasting it, man. Not just the religious people, the spiritual people too, because they're saying that he used all these words that he was saying So now it's sort of tainted everybody else because he was just a fraud, capitalizing off them. You know, he would talk about all kinds of, like you said, the frequencies and everything, but he was just pulling, you know, pulling people's shit.
Yeah,
And
and that's
now,
what I'm saying. If you're a
and he was
normal
making
person
money
and you
off it.
like
People
stuff
paid him mad
and you
money.
can, yeah,
10,
if
20
you're a
grand.
normal
And then
person and you want to go buy shit, that's fine. But don't sit there and pretend to be a guru, a spiritual guru, you know what I mean?
what he
And
said,
scam
he
people
I'm
out
not
of their
signing
money
up
so
for
that
no
you can go
Anunnaki.
buy.
he
I'm
said
not
he can
signing up
translate
for no
American,
Anunnaki classes.
bro, he said he can translate American text. And there's like one person, I think, on this planet, this African brother at the University of Calgary out here in Canada, in the West Coast. He was
No,
the guy
there's some
doing
other
in that
guys.
movie, Aliens,
You ever seen?
Close
You ever
Encounter.
seen
No, but
that
that's the guy who
old?
broke it. That's the guy who
Yeah,
broke
there,
it. I
no,
could figure out a few words, not a lot. So
no.
Billy
There's an
doesn't know
old
shit.
guy. Yeah, no, there's an old guy named Irving Finkel. He works in a museum, the British Museum, and he's in a few YouTube videos, and he can read the Samaritan clay tablets. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was trying to get AI to
But
do it.
there's a lot of them. Yeah, there's a lot of them, and there are museum websites where you can have you can have like it
We
will
haven't
read
fully
it to you.
translated it. We're talking to Carson. Don't go all Carson on us now. They have not fully translated the full language of the Samaritan text, bro. Come on, no. They've only translated certain little. They don't know. They have not broke the code yet. The code has not been
What
broken
do you?
yet.
Yes, it has, man. Where have you been?
For one,
And
we
that's
don't
what I'm
have the
saying.
full
Is
vocabulary. That's what I'm saying. So
is
it's
it
not possible.
none of it? What that stupid Zachariah Stitchin said? You know, he just made all that shit up because he wrote all those books like back in the '70s
But
and early '80s.
that's what everybody did that got a permission or got a permission. I don't know what the fuck, a permission or you know a visual or they just said, okay, this is what I see, this is what it is.
Yeah, but see, it'd be like
Yeah,
that.
none
You
of it.
already died. You write enough science fiction, you believe your own bullshit, and then you start a cult, a religion,
Who doesn't?
Scientology.
Like everybody believe God's talked to them in one. God talks to them in one way or another. Like it's God. God talked. It was God talking to me. God, the one that told me this. God said this. God said that.
It's Xenar. Xenar is in the spaceship behind the moon waiting for you Scientology people. So stop giving your money. Just tell them, listen, I want to go 23 degrees. I know about Xenar. Show me the mothership.
Who the
But it
hell
might
is
cost you.
No,
Xenar?
hell, but that's why like a lot of them, man. That's why a lot of those people they come and go, you know, and Billy's reign's over. That's it.
What's his name? Dr. Walter did the movie. You know the octopus guy with the octopus head? That's Xenar. You know the guy you see in your DMT trips, that fucking octopus person?
Yeah.
That's Xenar, the alien of Scientology. When you get to the highest level, they take you into the room and they tell you the secret. They don't tell you that it's about Jesus Christ or it's about Mohammed or it's about Buddha, high frequency. You're going to be able to meditate and levitate and do all this shit. No, they tell you, listen, it's about Xenar. He has his ship behind the moon, and he's waiting for us. And when we die, we will excel, but we got to filter ourselves through all the machines that we have. We need to cleanse ourselves to reach that spot.
Really,
it's not like
that sounds like Scientology, man.
Holding take Scientology ain't about, no, but that's what Scientology is all about. Public knowledge, everybody knows. They did the movie. John Travolta did the movie about the aliens.
Or illusion. Exactly, you will.
Scientology. And about how he had to kill his brother and his sister. And it's just like fucking the Anunnaki story, but it's the Scientology version because Eon Hubbard has thousands of science fiction books. Amazing. Any fucking theory, any story plot you can think of, Star Wars, everything, Eon Hubbard already did it 100 years ago. Everybody steals his idea when it comes to science fiction. Different creatures, he explained them all in his different stories, man. But you know, he got rich and bored of that.
I remember when Billy Carson went off and said he said a lot of people take advantage of the black community because they're not very well educated, and he was basically explaining himself. Yeah, doing the same thing. But what he was talking about was he was like, oh well, flat earthers. are mainly all black people, and that's because they're just not, frankly, that smart, and people take advantage of them. And
I
it's
think
like,
that's
dude,
what.
that's you, bro.
Hey, Crow, I think that's what a lot of people got in tune to where, a person giving you information but then calling you stupid at the same time makes you feel like you learning something.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, dude, I think these screens that we're looking at, man, it's a form of sorcery. It don't really matter who you are, and YouTube's proof is like, dude, I mean, you can come up with some crazy shit and like
Yeah.
you're bound to find, you're bound to find at least 1,000 people to follow you,
That's gonna
you'd be
believe it.
like,
That's gonna believe
yeah,
it.
yeah,
I tell
maybe we should just do that. Be like, the mushrooms told
or a
us,
bird's foot.
the end of the world is in 3 years. Maybe that's your problem, True, is you're too honest, brother. You know what I
Probably.
mean?
Probably. You try to be too honest. You gotta lie a little bit, I guess. You gotta
I
buy
don't
into the
know, man.
illusion, and then you gotta turn around and sell the illusion back to people.
Yeah, but he like promises, he promises them like a secret, and that's a big marketing scheme. There's like 5 ways to market something, and like one of them's like, selling the secret.
Yeah, you
There's this
feeding off. It's like
secret
he.
thing, and
It's like he feeding
yeah,
off the ideas of the people. Like
yeah,
your
that's all
ideas
he's
and your
doing, man.
beliefs, you feel me, will
Like,
feed
like
somebody.
no, yeah, nobody likes the idea of just slaves building the pyramids.
Yeah,
But oh, aliens did it. Oh yeah, did the aliens do it? Tell me more, bro.
nah. Tell me more.
It's like,
Now
you
explain it.
know,
It's like, nah, I'm
that's
a
all that
spoon
is.
feed it to you.
And then when
You got to take my alien course on aliens develop the planet.
yeah, or dude, he had his own streaming service, and he's like, for what was it, $7 a month, you can watch all the YouTube videos that I downloaded and stole, you know,
Yeah.
on my streaming service. It's like,
His
what?
degree from Harvard, his degree from here, and all he did was took on those internet free college courses where you get the certificate, but he associated his name to those brand of universities or colleges. And you'd think people
I
wouldn't
know.
check out. He wasn't even part of their alumni, but yet he's saying their names on Rogan and Sean and PDB. And how can you be saying these things? And people think you got a
That's
degree in this and you got a degree in that. Then you say after on your own podcast, oh yeah, I took these online. Anybody can take them and on physics and quantum physics. It's like watching YouTube fucking videos. But he says in some podcasts, I have a degree, I studied this, I have a degree. He never studied shit, man. So like
yeah.
you
What
can't
does that
just
even mean
start
anyway?
believing your own lines.
Like,
Like, come on. Joe
well,
Rogan had like 40 million views. You don't think someone's gonna check out shit you're saying that's in Harvard and say, I don't remember this guy from that year. What year he's talking about? And that's what
that's
happened.
what.
Oh, no, I never said I got a degree.
Yeah.
I took an online course for 6 weeks where I had to go on the weekends and be live 12 hours with a professor. Those aren't fucking classes, bro. Those are Donald Trump continual study. You can do that in any community college. You don't even need a high school degree. So it was not a claim, but
I
he said,
know.
I had a degree.
He paid,
I
man.
did quantum physics. Yeah, he
He
paid to take some
paid.
little cheesy
He
weekend
paid.
course.
No, he paid to be on Rogan. I bet he
Well,
paid a
I know, but
million
I'm saying
dollars.
his credentials, he buffed just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
has no credentials.
credentials.
Yeah, because Rogan
He's not
has
It's
a
a
like
lot
Bob.
of
doctor.
Yeah,
different people on
At
there.
first,
yeah.
when he
Just like
came out, he said he had a doctorate. At first, when he came out, he said he was 70 years old, and because he drank silver, he looked young. He got caught in that lie.
oh,
I
Hey,
never
shut
but
said
up.
people was buying that colloidal silver from him when he did that.
he was
A
70
lot of
years old,
people
Drew, and he was only
was
46. It's 5 years ago when he pulled that scam.
Hey, a
Like
lot of
people's been
people
on.
was buying it. They said, "Ooh, I'm gonna get that." If he's 70, I'm buying that for reals. And I remember when everybody was on the colloidal silver and the Ormus gold and all that shit.
I don't know.
Yeah, saying the fucking dude. I know all of them. Like, man, It just sucks that
performance.
people they like,
Shit.
and that's what Brother Sanchez was saying. It's like, dude, you finally get up in the community and you don't help nobody. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you can throw in the P Diddy and the Jay-Z thing too. It's like they work themselves up in the community and they don't do nothing for nobody.
But
They don't
that's the
help
thing,
anyone.
right? I think also at the same time, a lot of them, like you know, it's like you, Crow. You probably help people, give money to homeless people, and do these different things, but you're not going around saying it all the time.
Yeah, no,
How crazy shit!
yeah.
Probably a lot of you already know is art. Let me see this one too. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going. It's just wild. Like the different things that they saying, and like, you know, I think that's what draw me away from Billy Carson a long time ago. I seeing those videos. It was like hidden knowledge, and then I watched the shit. And I already know it, and I'm going, bro. I know people is not fault, but I guess it is because, you know, some people don't know it, some people haven't seen it, so they
And
fall
yeah,
for
but I don't think so, man. Unless you're like a teenager, you know. I think you can, everyone that
it.
need, you know, everyone that wants to see it, they've seen
Yeah,
it,
this
you know.
artwork go
Or
crazy.
you sit there for 20 minutes waiting for them to say it, and then when they finally do, you're like, oh my God, I just wasted all this time waiting for that dumb shit,
Well,
you know.
5,000,000
Yeah,
people on the
and
planet. At least
that
20
happens to
billion.
all of us.
Yeah, to
That's
all of
why
us.
the one thing I can say is like when any of us talk about our trip reports, you know what I mean? We can all like that's what I like about your community, True, is like we like if someone's bullshitting, they're gonna get called out on it quick. You
Yeah,
know, like say the
but
person never tripped, but they come in and they be like, I tripped and I saw these giant marshmallow monsters, and man,
yeah,
I saw Ghostbusters, and you
yeah,
know what
I
I mean?
remember
Tom
that back
Cruise
in the
was
days.
there. What do
Nothing
you
ain't no
mean?
different. I said no. I said I remember. I remember they was doing that back in the days. A lot of people was coming through, telling stories that wasn't even real, but it was like, you know, it was kind of
Really?
understandable. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Come in acting
Oh,
like
I
they
didn't know
trip.
that.
I remember one time like I put DMT. Somebody I met on here, I put DMT in my blunt to smoke, and he said he was putting DMT too. And then come to find out, he wasn't. He was just smoking like acacia. It was like, you know, but people would come in with these stories just because, you know, I don't know why, bro. I didn't know why they used to do the shit. I can't even give a reason. They'll just come through with a story. They'll say, "Oh, and I seen this on there, and what'd you take? Oh, I took like 10 grams of mushrooms, and then you know that, but they really didn't. They really
And
haven't even
nothing
did
happened.
psychedelics. Yeah, they really didn't, you know, ever take psychedelics.
Ooh,
But that was just part
I
of it. That was just part of it.
I know,
I don't
man, it's
know,
crazy.
but all in all, I think it's just kind of cool because, you know, when we come through and we talk about psychedelic experiences, it's not trying to give or make a belief in something. It's just, okay, this is my experience. I'm sharing it. This is how I felt. This is what I seen. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats that because,
Yeah,
you know, whether we see Anunnaki, whether we see Anubis, you know, we still just talking about things that we seen on the experience and how we felt when we were there. It's not going, okay, well, you know, because Jesus was this, and you know, and the Anunnaki, they came and they did this, and it's like, man, all the shit is just bullshit to me now. It's like, I guess I got far enough to where it's like, okay, damn, if it's an illusion, then everything is just that illusion. And you can play with it and you can make it part of your illusion, but that's what it's made for. It's made for, you know, for us to have, like, it's like us as people need something to believe in. We need something to ride on the back of in order to make us seem more important, more whatever. Like we need that thing. So when it's there and we see it, we got to ride it. We got to stay with it. And it's like whether it's a religion or whatever, whether it's Donald Trump. It's like
yeah,
this one thing is gonna save you, And it's like, because everybody, you know, needs to be saved in one way or another. And it's like, you only getting saved from yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
You're getting saved from yourself, your thoughts, your ideas, and your beliefs. That's
Yeah.
the only real saving.
Like the other,
That's the
well, I'm
real
not
saving.
even,
Getting
it's
saved,
my
Is,
God.
rescued from
is,
yourself.
The proof
is
is in the pudding.
Joshua Tree in Death Valley?
Nice enough to believe that people, huh?
Is Joshua Tree in Death Valley?
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not sure.
In the
Because
desert.
no, I just asked because Rick, how do you say his name? The DMT guy,
Right. No.
Rick
Hello.
Stratman, or however you say his name.
You
He
Rick Strassman.
he was on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how he used to go trip in Death Valley, and he said like the rocks there, like everything there is supposed to be like super old, you know, supposedly, you know, millions of years old. And he said it's like real intense when you know
When
take
you
mushrooms
tripping.
while you're there. Yeah,
Yeah, that's how it is in
and
Joshua Tree. And I don't know
yeah,
if it's
and
the
I'm like,
same.
so that's
That's Death
why I'm
Valley.
asking. I'm like, is that the same area? I
Let
I
me
don't
see.
know California so
So I think
at
the
all.
sand comes from like crystals or salt or something in it, man. Yeah, there's something about the
Did you
sand.
guys did you guys see the new show Penguin there? And they had the mushrooms in the TV show, and supposedly like the mushrooms oozed out this like red
Oh no,
orangish kind of amber
it's not.
liquid, and
That's by Las Vegas.
they were like, oh, it's so the drugs are so good. Like they
Nah,
were saying, I don't know, they were saying it like they weren't tripping off of it. It was just really weird. They
nah,
just
I ain't
kind of
see
like
that.
made up this drug.
Why? You
Yeah,
just see it,
it was
But
interesting.
Death Valley is closer to Las Vegas. It's like
man.
it's
Didn't even
around
Oh,
three
really?
hours from yeah,
know.
Joshua Tree.
Huh?
It's like 3 hours or something like that.
Dang. And I just
I
watched
want
a
to
video. They were saying that the you know how California used to be an island, or they show California as an island, a giant island on old maps. Have you ever seen that, True?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, yeah. If you look up like 17, like look up world maps, 1700s, even going back to like the 1500s, they
Oh,
show
you welcome.
California was a giant
A
island,
tour.
and like the
Death.
ocean went all the way up like through like Nevada and Utah, and they said that some of it even went up into like Wyoming. And if you look at the like the Google like Earth maps, you can kind of see how it actually makes sense. But they're finding like Aztec evidence that the Aztecs were like way up like in that area because of like
Peace.
just how it bordered. And also on the Mercator map, I saw something that was really interesting. California used to go all the way up to the North Pole. Did you know that? Just going up, you know, on the West Coast, you just keep going though, all the way up Canada, all the way up past Alaska
Yeah.
until you run right into the North Pole. It showed, you know, California was written on the map, but like in the Arctic Circle. I was like, wow, that's crazy.
No,
You know
I didn't
that,
see that. I didn't see that, Crow. But
yeah,
Darius P said I disagree. The things we see on psychedelics are true. The conveyor belt, the people behind the zipper, the blue lady on DMT, the net of being, etc. Those
of
things
course
lead
they are.
somewhere. Lead
Did
somewhere.
you,
Yeah, yeah.
True, if you watch the new Robert, what's his name? Robert, he does a bunch of videos, anthropology videos. Well, his newest one is in Thailand. And if you look at anything in Thailand, all their temples and stuff, it looks like they tripped balls on mushrooms.
Yeah,
And then when they came back, they built everything to look like where they go when they're on mushrooms.
yeah. It's
And
like that's
they were
that's a.
showing,
But I hear
yeah,
what he's
they were,
saying because it's like it almost seems like like that is the actuality, real reality, and this one isn't. But it's like I don't know, bro. That shit is trippy.
yes. and
All of
they
this
they
is
even do
all work
plays.
process
They
they
even make
have built together
these plays in
for
theaters,
chaos to make
and they don't
anything.
speak lines. They just convey basically the story through music and these masks that look very DMT psychedelic, almost jester looking masks, and they wear the different ones to convey different emotions, you know. And some of those masks, they look
Since
almost
it's
very
here to
like
explain.
demonic, like the white, like the mask, the skin on the mask is like painted white, and then like, you know, but like the everything is like colored makeup looking, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain
That's
that, but it's
have you
wild.
ever
And
been on DMT and seen all the masks?
no, no, I always feel the presence there, and I've seen the plasma balls of energy, you know,
Yeah.
but I haven't, other than the very first time when I was in the ball pit that was full of meat with that damn clown laughing at me. That fucking shit scared me.
Nah, hey,
Whew.
that I ain't gonna lie, that conveyor belt place is fucking trippy because somehow,
No, tell me about that. I've never even heard of that.
man,
The
somehow
conveyor belt.
yeah, it seems like, man, to me it was like almost like, man, it reminded me of some Santa's workshop type shit where it was like these weird looking entities, and it was like a conveyor belt that was like, I don't know, it's like that shit was making reality or some shit, bro. That shit was fucking trippy as shit, but you could tell
I've
that
heard.
that was reality, and it was like but it didn't make sense, but it made sense. But it was like, this conveyor
What
belt
does
looking
that
like
mean,
thing.
bro?
I don't
You know the
fucking
thing that
know. I don't know.
the
That
thing
shit
that
is fucking trippy.
the thing that creeps me out, man, is
How
like
many genetic
when you go over there,
places
just like
run through the exploitation to
all that
become the
artwork in
embodiment?
Thailand,
Yeah,
everything looks like they drew it
bro.
with a computer. You know, it's
That's what,
like
like,
yeah,
like when
it's
people talk about the conveyor belt place. That's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like It seemed
you're in
like
a
some
video
computer.
game,
Yeah, like some computer type shit. Like
dude. That
exactly
shit
like
is
that.
wild.
Like it was Tron or some shit, but it was like, like Christmas like colors.
Yes. So here's the question: are we just going like into the like astral realm? Is that just like, or one of the astral realms? Because they say there's like the lower astral realm, and then like the astral realm, and then like I think the upper astral realm, and then the angelic realm. You know, there's like the
Yeah.
different dimensions, and it's like, are you just, because man, that chick
I
gives me the creeps because everything's black. There's like no light except the colors you're seeing.
it's it's kind of weird, right? Because when you like some of these places, when you see, it's like they all come together to make this place. Like, so if you was to reach the height of one idea, or I want to say feelings, but it's like all in one. If you was to reach the height of these things, it'll be a whole different reality existing. Like if it was just love, and you reach the height of that love thing, and you see everything as love, and bro, it's like you almost, to me, it's like you're reaching the height of the ideas and these different forms of that you created over time, like within yourself. Like, but they exist within everybody. They don't just exist within you, they exist within everybody, but all of them are making, you know almost like they're making shit look different. Like your love is different than the love that I have, but it's love. Like, if you get what I'm saying. So if you was to
Yeah.
see the entity of love without it being the other side, it will be this thing right here. But you're able to take that love and make it into whatever you want it to be here. You can make it for love of a car, love of a woman, love of smoking weed. You can make it into whatever type of love you want it to be on this side, in this in reality. But it's still the same underlying entity or being that is existing. Like me and my mom. Dang, what was we talking about? We was talking about something like that was created here that man had made, and I was like going like, we don't look at everything as being an entity. Like we don't look at a car as being an entity, but a car is an entity. That's why it still exists, and a lot of things that we even make, they become entities and they exist in reality. So if a car can be an entity, our ideas that we have also, these things can be their own entities. Like our the love, the hate, these things are their own entities that are existing within us. And I don't know, bro, that should be fucking crazy. So it's like you're seeing the truth, but the way that you seeing it is in a way that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't be able to fathom it or understand it. They
Yeah,
just
that's
wouldn't.
bizarre.
They wouldn't be able to understand it because they're already looking at, you know, the entity of love as being the love of a woman or the love of another person. But that entity
Yeah,
is like, you know, its own energy. It's its own living being. It's its own thing that, you know, we can take, and we can take that entity and we can put it inside anything. We put it in water. We can put it in a wedding ring. We can put it in wedding pictures. We can put it in our kids. We can put it in our, you know, brother. You know, we can take that love entity and we can put it in anything. And it's like, it starts to get real weird, bro. I don't even like talking about it because it's like, I don't want to see it no more, okay? I just want to, you know, ride my... Crow, I want to go back to sleep sometimes. I'm not even going to lie. I'm just like,
oh
just
really?
stop. Just turn off, okay? Just turn off. I don't want to see it
I
like
know.
this no more. Just
Well,
let me...
remember when you had Flat Earth Dave come on?
Yeah, yeah, Flat Earth
You know
Dave.
what I mean? Man, some people they get so triggered by that stuff.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
it's like whoa, you know.
Yeah,
But
it was a
it's
lot of
just
people saying some
I
weird
ain't even gonna get
comments
into it. But
about Flat
yeah,
Earth.
but yeah, it's like we read this book in
Oh,
school called Night
where you at,
John,
Mark? What's up, Mark?
and it was about how like it was about like back in the when people had slaves in the South and like how they would keep that they wouldn't teach them how to read, they wouldn't teach them how to ride a horse. It was just like all about keeping them, you know, dumbed down and docile, you know, as much as
Yeah,
they could, so they couldn't get the upper hand, you know, and it's like, dude, we're in the same, like it's crazy. Like
we don't
they
like
were
to.
like, what if we just enslave everyone and let them walk around and make them have to have these special
Yeah, it is.
piece of paper
This
so
is
they're
good,
if
Mark.
they want to go somewhere, you know.
I think, man,
And it's like it's just getting worse and
we
worse.
get stuck in the times because I think we don't understand. Okay, if reality is all one thing and it's all working together in order to make itself what it actually is, like even we don't like the updates and shit. We don't like, okay, we about to get updated to where we're about to have robots walking around one day. No, we don't like that. We want it to stay how it was before it was like this, but it's like reality is always changing and updating itself. It don't need a human to update it. It's gonna do that regardless. Regardless.
Yeah, but
You
dude,
feel me? We're playing a
that
big...
stuff, yeah, yeah, but that stuff is like some of that stuff is so evil, man. It's like,
but
have
think
you ever
about...
heard that theory? Like they're building everything so that one day we can all be
Yeah, ain't no
uploaded
going
into
back.
like a giant computer.
Yeah,
Have you
we
ever
gotta
heard that
mimic.
like theory?
We have to mimic
Yeah.
reality, what's already going on. We have to mimic it. Like Rick when he had the people living inside his battery on Rick and Morty. And then he go inside the battery, and then that reality created another reality within the reality.
Yeah. Well, we don't have to. It's just, it's almost like they want to trap us for our energy or something,
We
man.
not,
I
we're
don't want,
not.
I
And
don't
when you
want to,
think about it, like we're not doing it. It's what the reality is doing. This thing is
yeah, we
doing
need
it.
to, yeah,
We watching
I
it
don't
and
know,
we
man.
seeing it happen, but this thing is doing it and it's gonna do it. And it's like I was saying about cocoa, like chocolate. Like it was a time when people seen chocolate, seen the Indians taking chocolate, and they said that's evil. We not messing with chocolate, and we talking about chocolate. Now chocolate is like one of the most favorite things for everybody. But we do this all the time. When something new pops in for us, we want to keep it in the old way. We go, oh shit, that shit is evil. And it's like, not really. Not really. Everything that evil plays a part in everything, but still though, this is the reality pushing forward. And it's gonna continue to push forward, despite what we think.
Yeah, but I don't think it was supposed to ever be like this, you know?
How? But it's
And
like this. If it wasn't supposed to be like this, it wouldn't be like this. It wouldn't right now, Joe Crow. Like if you think about it, like we can say, okay, that plane wasn't supposed to, that helicopter wasn't supposed to crash with Kobe on it, but it did.
yeah.
So it's like everything is happening right now. We can say it's not supposed to happen, but it's happening, and nothing is gonna stop it. Nothing is gonna come along and stop it. This is what it is, bro. That's the wild part about it, and we just need to go. Okay, dang. Okay, that's the next thing coming. All right, I can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah,
Robots.
a good a good ex, a good example what I'm talking about though is like, you know, before the Industrial Revolution, right? The whole idea what they sold people on was, hey, now you don't have to work, a whole week, to do just a little bit of this work, to get a little bit of this work done. Now we have these machines where you can do all the work that took you a week, you can do it all in one day. So now you're going to have all this extra time. Wrong. You know what I mean? They ended up working even more. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like I get what you're saying, like things that might seem to be like the easier road, to take the easier road. Like in the end, it doesn't work that way.
No,
They
I
just
get.
use,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's always. I think it always just make it easier for the person that's running it. Like the
yeah,
company
but
owner. I don't gotta pay all these workers now. I can get these robots. That's like on the wash. Wait, remember the old school wash that came out in the '70s with Richard Pryor
watch
on
like
it?
a wristwatch.
No, no, the wash, the car wash.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
car
old school
wash.
car wash,
Go,
and it was like,
yeah,
yeah,
go into the car
once
wash,
they get
baby.
rid of, yeah, once they get the automatic scrubs, a lot of people not supposed to have a job.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's like
yeah. No, I
almost like
know,
the
but
same story's been playing out over time, but like I feel like it's what Big Chill said. Everything has its underlying truth, and overlaid over
dude, the
that is
robots
all
though.
our ideas.
the- So back in the 70s at the University of Davis, which is in California, they did all these experiments and putting these chips in monkeys' brains. And then what they found out was through radio waves, they could literally remote control the monkeys, right? Now, where have you heard this before? Like recently, Neuralink, right, with Elon
Yeah.
Musk. Well, they want to put a chip in your brain, and then, you'll just be super smart, and that's the only reason why we want to do this. But come to find out, they can literally
Well,
control your body like a monk, like a robot.
but
So you
hey,
you can't.
that look, it makes sense though. What you saying, like it makes so much sense, Crow, because in a way,
So
like
how
you
did? Yeah,
like when you think about it, like okay, our taste buds, our eyesight, our hearing controls our body, been controlling our body. Now let's just think if somebody comes along with another way of taking control of those senses with like
yeah,
sugary foods. Now they're
Oh,
controlling the senses that are within you. They're not controlling you. They
oh,
okay. They looking for your senses, the things that you're attracted to, the things that your taste buds attract you to. I don't
yeah,
want
like
you. I just need your taste
nicotine.
buds. If I got your taste buds, we good. I got you.
Oh,
Because now
nice.
you're not in control. You never was in
Damn, man.
control. You never was. So
Oh,
even with information, bro, the same thing with information. Like the information grab us and pull us in because we're not in control. We never like that's the part I think that a lot of us don't see is like you're not in control. All these other things are in control. Now, if I can take control of those other things that are in control of you, now I have your body working for me.
yeah.
If I can say, if I can make you taste this donut and this donut is like the best thing you ever tasted, now you're going to be back every day for this donut.
Yeah.
It don't
Yeah.
got
No,
nothing.
you're right.
It's your taste buds I'm after. It's like, and that's what
Yeah.
the
It's
ones
like,
that are selling the information. It's your ideas I'm after. I'm not after you. I want your ideas. If I can get you your ideas to connect with the ideas that I have, I got you.
yeah. I
Now I'm
know it's
leading. Now
scary,
I'm
man.
leading you without you even knowing that I'm leading you.
So here's a question for you. If if the big thing that happened in the year 2020, if that happened 3 months from now, do you think it would go exactly the same way? Or do you think it would be any different?
If it already happened, I don't think it would be any different. I think it. I think
I don't want to say
everything
the
plays.
words,
I
but you
know,
know what
I
I'm
know,
saying.
I know what you're talking about. But I think everything plays out in every which way all
The
the
way,
time.
yeah, yeah,
It
no,
play
you're
it,
right.
like it kind of plays out in every which way all the time. So you can look at it this way, but I can look at it that way. But it's the same
You ever
thing
heard of
happening.
that? You ever heard of that experiment where they had one person uh, go into a classroom and then they have like these big pieces of paper with like four lines drawn on them, and they'll say which two
Where is
lines are the exact same size, and there's four other people in the classroom and they purposely will answer wrong just to see what your answer is, to see if you will go,
if
just to
you
see
just
if
go
you
with the
will be
flow?
like gang mentality. Yeah, to see
Yeah,
if you'll go with the flow.
yeah, I ain't
And
seen
like
that.
that, it's something like, yeah, it's something like 9 out of 10 people will go with the flow when
That
when like the evidence is right in front of their face.
yeah,
Dude, that scares the hell
yeah,
out of me,
yeah.
man.
People just go with it because everybody else going with it. He said, "Oh, UL said
Man,
psychedelics are leading to these ideas and giving people the alternative perspective to be able to deal, because you are nothing but a system of networks of ideas and organisms." Exactly. So, meaning if
yeah,
I can
yeah,
control your ideas and your organisms that's within you, I don't need you. I don't need you can keep your thoughts to yourself. You can keep all that.
yep,
As long as I can, grab your taste buds or I can grab one of your ideas of your beliefs, then I got you. And it's like, what the fuck, bro? This shit is crazy.
yep. Yeah, no, it is
This shit is
crazy.
crazy.
Everything is not what it seems.
Did
What's
you
up,
see
Blue
the
Flag?
What
did
up,
you see
man?
the message I sent you where I was saying it'd be cool if you could come up with a video where like you would like shine like say the lasers in there, so if someone was tripping they could like watch the video to see if they all get the same result.
Yeah.
So like the first one would be like you would shine lasers and say, do you see the numbers in here?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was going, damn, that's something that we need to
And
do at our
yeah,
next meetup.
just to see if like everyone gets the same outcome,
Yeah, it goes
which would
hella
be
deeper
cool
than that.
because yeah, because you could almost prove that it's not hallucinations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you want to
But
really prove
you
it to
could,
yourself. If somebody who doesn't dose, they'll just be like, "Nah, you lying, man."
I hate that, bro. See, I hate we all here
well,
know
yeah,
we know too goddamn much.
yeah. No, I know. I get what you're saying. But like, if you did it while you were kind of coming down or at the end of it, you know, you could see it too. You know, so you would know. Yeah, like you were saying, you would know if you were lying, if the people were lying or not.
Yeah, yeah, you would know. That's it, man.
And
Damn, man. We used to talk about that, Theo. Remember the one movie where he put on the glasses and they had to buy this, buy me, do this, do that.
yeah, they live. Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
live. They
Mm-hmm.
live. It was like,
yeah.
what the
Obey.
fuck?
Yeah, obey, obey.
Yeah, obey,
You know what I mean?
obey.
Yeah,
Because at
yeah,
first, if we
obey.
don't know they're saying shit, then we'll just do it before we realize. Be like, why am I drinking this coffee? How did I get this cup of coffee? But then, if we are able to hear that there's
Yeah,
an influence,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
true, ain't it? It's true,
because it's
man.
really not forcing anybody
Oh
to do
man.
anything. It's just an influence. It's like sensation. It's like
Yeah.
a certain subtle feeling, a feeling you got. Oh, I got to do that, but do you? I feel like I should.
You
Do you
won't even,
feel like that, or are you thinking that thought based on that feeling?
especially when they show you somebody smiling every time they drinking a cup of coffee. Oh, it can smell like, ooh, I
I
want to
know,
smell
all
like
those
that.
productive programming. Like, what if nobody really was trying to sell anything, literally, like products? Like, if we didn't have to all sell products, how would we feel about some of this stuff? Like, the
Sell it.
natives didn't look at, like, way back the indigenous people didn't think, oh, I'll smile with the steam coming up with a little leaf written on the top of the espresso.
For real, they sell it. They sell it. It's like almost, bro. It's just like a high. It's another high, like any other high to me nowadays, because it's like everything is like a look. You
Life is
get
just
this?
a habit we have, an addiction.
Yeah, it's an addiction. It's an addiction. The
That's the
dragon
weird thing is
chasing
once
his
you beat
tail.
the addiction of life.
Yeah.
I think
If
that's
I
what
get this.
like
Oh,
the
you know
dark-
what's fucking
the
crazy?
soul at first is like you come from like a world where there's always like a treadmill or there's always a carrot in front of you. And once
Yeah,
you
always.
take that carrot away, but then you end up putting it back in anyways. But it's like
Look,
at first it seems like everything's meaningless. That's really good news though. That's like a light opening up.
I know everybody.
But at first, like,
I know everybody had like one of those aunts or one of those uncles that used to watch all the the TV shopping network and buy everything from it. Like they got the waffle makers, they got all the little shit. And look, the shit they use it one time and then it just be sitting on the shelf. But they buy it though because it said you should buy this because this gonna do this for you.
I know. And then so much garbage. Then we got landfills, like, because we want to get something that'll give us an edge on reality, but we don't realize if we get ahead, if we get an edge on reality, that's only going to make us lazy in a way. We're not going to use that to get ahead. In order to get ahead on reality, we'd have to get that advantage and keep pushing just as hard as we were. But even then, it's like.
But that little dopamine high right there, it'd be good for the time
sometimes,
being.
like in life, because like even in life, sometimes the most meaningful things are just looking at nature, just being still with nature, seeing the presence of it, and it's that dopamine high being excited about you don't know what. And then once you find out what you're excited about, you can calculate it 1,000,000 times over. You can be like, once I get this, then I'll be done, then I'll be happy, then I won't be happy again, then I'll need to get it again. You'll start going down the line like days, weeks.
Yeah, then I'll have to re-up on some happiness.
But it's like that feeling of
up on some happiness.
So that feeling is pure though. Once you have that feeling, when you really don't know almost where the excitement comes from, because at the same time you could say, I want to learn how to play guitar. I don't know exactly what my style will be like. I don't know exactly what songs I'm gonna learn.
If I get
but
this,
I'm like, I can be excited.
Nah, look, Theo, if I get this Bugatti, you feel me? Everything gonna change.
When I get that Bugatti, I don't.
Everything gonna change.
Cup holders I'll have installed after.
When
I
we
don't know
started,
exactly what I'm excited about.
when you started with the Bugatti narrative a long time ago, it made me think about something. It brought something else that I seen. I seen somebody with like a 1980 fucking Lamborghini. That shit was so ugly. I said, "Damn, is that what it's gonna be like 30 years from now?"
That's what the Cybertruck is like now, bro. For real, dog.
30 years, because soon as
Like
you,
some of those old Scarface whips back in Scarface, ugliest cars ever.
ugliest cars ever. But you know, Bugatti, Toyota, and all the other
Italian.
cars, the cars is not stupid. They said we gonna renew ourselves every year. So every year I'm gonna make myself new.
They're like
the cars is alive.
The thought is like an entity in the back of our mind. It's a car living there, like, hello, create me. I want to be updated.
Create me, make
you
me.
Need me.
You need me. I'm gonna put that smile on your face today.
But really, I think it's just that iridescent. It's that ripple force. Like when we really get into ripple force, like spreading positive energy, like having that pure excitement of life. You don't know what is going to happen. It's going to happen. You're going to get your blessings.
Yeah,
so it's purely positive. Like you can be happy about that. As long as we stay still and stay in the flow, like more and more we do what we like to do and build our skills up, like magical things open up.
Hey,
I don't even ever guess.
I don't think I don't like even look at it like it's anything like wrong with it. It's just that's what we do. That's what we do.
You know what's weird too is like, yeah. But I think humans like we get mad logical. Like back to what I was just saying about like calculating the future happiness. Like sometimes we get in that tit for tat reality. That's like an animalistic trait. Like on a bacterial level, the small bacterias are doing that too. If a bacteria runs up on you, that bacteria runs back up. What's up? They can't control it. That's just automatic.
Yeah, that shit work.
So I think that
they working together too, Theo. Bacteria is
and
working.
that's a part of our mind. For real.
The bacteria and the viruses are working together with the medicines.
But that's like our mind's aspect. Like we could be really aware and really present and still, or we could be really compulsive. Like whatever thought comes in, it just becomes automatic. Like we're a bacteria.
Yeah.
But when we get too logical with it, it's pleasure becomes tit for tat. It's all about measurements. It's like it becomes one for one, like a perfect trade. That's when love becomes fake, but then unconditional. It's weird when you pour into something, give. It actually gives back infinity.
You can infinity. It's gonna be infinity of thinking that yeah, man. You just get lost in your own feelings. It's dope though.
I'm trying to get that Fendi happiness.
And just like a cell
that
phone.
Lostness in your feelings. Because our feelings are the most dangerous place to be, really, to get lost in. It's just like our own
lost
home.
in yourself. UL said, and just like a cell phone is sundial and smoke signals mixed together over time, generation of these things are always merging beyond perception, creating simulations, and emulation seems to be one of the easiest things for what people call the mind. Damn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's working so fast, we don't even notice it.
You don't even notice
I was waiting for UL to chime in.
Yeah, you don't even notice it.
Because the thing you're noticing is the thing. I guess we do notice it. We just don't notice. It is it. Because once it's there, you made something quick. You think, oh, I'm just looking at this. The mind already made something.
Yeah, it already created something. It already made some shit.
Let me look over here. You were already expecting something. If you really turned around in your house, like, I'm not expecting anything. I'll turn around. There wouldn't be a wall right there. But since I'm expecting it, I already rendered it in.
Spirit trafficking.
Beyond me, bro.
It is, Theo. It is, man. It is. But it don't pull you away from being still trapped in your ideas. It just help you just make a bigger illusion.
That's what they say. But like that same way, like if the mind is rippling with the universe, you can get a perfect reflection, but then you really have no evidence if you do or not, because you're the only one in your own mind, you and out. But then also it's like everything's just as good. They say like the only way out is through.
I don't like that. I don't like that because if you the only one, if you the one, like who you got, you can't blame your ideas or your beliefs or anything you do on nobody. You really can't.
But then what's the reason you need to blame it anyways? It's just another passing thought.
Because it just feels better when you got somebody to blame it
I'm
on.
mad that I thought that, but it's like, I'm mad I thought that thought, but then are you still thinking that thought? How do you know that thought exists in this moment?
Hey,
but yeah, you're right, too. I'm looking for that person to blame.
Because, like, I think I always see them complain about the foods, like they selling us this food. They selling people this. And it's like, but people are buying it. Like, you can't be mad at the person that's selling the shit. Like, you can't be mad
I should eat healthy, but I'm just going to go eat McDonald's.
I'm just going to go eat McDonald's.
Cookies and then McDonald's.
Because it's easy. Like, it's right there. And
the person's selling it, you should be happy. You like McDonald's. You're the one buying it. To be happy, that's what it's doing. But that's like the bad thing is too. Sometimes people do something harmful, like which they think is harmful, like eating certain foods. They're like, I can see that when I don't eat the food, I feel better. But when I do eat them,
oh dang! He said that's what happens when you're on psychedelics. Sometimes you're moving so fast that you were going beyond your expectation, and you start to see behind the wall of the mind. Exactly.
Because you're vibrating at a faster speed. If you vibrate at that cosmic speed, like our neurons are going so fast, only the outer world vibrates slow. What we would call slow compared to the inside of our body.
It's going like, that's the thing. It's trying to get beyond your beliefs and your ideas and step outside of that. And it's like, shit is hard to do. That shit is hard to do. And you see, you the motherfucker like behind the curtain. Right, you the one behind the curtain. Putting the stamp on
like everything. The only thing that makes it hard is that we say it's hard, basically, even though it is.
It isn't at the same time.
But it isn't hard, like in a weird way. I think if we just sit really still, it's just like everything that we're doing is so ingrained because we think I'm observing all of my actions. So I'm like, the only thing that's keeping me in this illusion of expectation is seeing my actions, but then my mind is the thing making the actions. So I'm like,
but
you can't see your mind while it's doing something.
I think that's the part though, that's the part that's kind of scary to even talk about at times with people when when you tell them it's the mind. It's like, nah, it can't be. My mind wouldn't do nothing like that. Like, I wouldn't do this to myself. Yeah,
that's hard. I wouldn't. It's like, that's your other mind.
It's so DMT like inner the sea.
But they think of mind as in the same as like personality, which is not. Because we exist in the whole fractal collective.
The whole
or everything we've accumulated. Ever since we went through this whole earth, we didn't just like edit everything out. I guess we did at first. We edit things out, but there's part of our mind always recording. And each object even contains stories, ideas.
Your mind is recording and gathering information on everything. I said that motherfucker's smart. That's how I can tell you how far you got to jump when you jump over that puddle that's right there. Your mind can calculate it without you using a ruler or anything, and you gonna jump. Your body gonna jump perfectly or step perfectly over that puddle, so you don't. Some people don't. They fall in, but so you don't fall in that motherfucker.
I think that's the paradox. Is that it's like, who am I? Because I'm not here. Like I'm not here at all right now. True, it's just an illusion.
You will say.
Closer.
Hey Theo,
I was never here.
Yeah, UL said you thought the body belonged to you, but you belong to it, and everything belongs to the mind. Exactly.
Yeah, because if we leave the body, like imagine if we leave the body in a weird ass way, in a certain sense, if we leave like like beyond like enlightenment or death or some shit. But if you just left the body right now, that motherfucker would walk down the street to McDonald's. It's like somehow we're totally separate from it. We are.
It'll go
it's
straight
like
to McDonald's.
Like
Give me a large fry. Give me a large fry with the Big Mac, okay?
If there's anything in this world that wants something, it's not what we are. We're not an essence that can want something, but we can be a part of this collective called the body. The body wants a lot of shit, and the mind and the body are the same thing.
Yeah, the body is running shit. The body is kind of running shit. The mind is looking at it, thinking it's running shit. But the body and like everything that's within it is actually doing all the walking and talking.
I think it's just like once we see like what our mind is, it's really just parts of our body, like sensations we've had. Or I mean, it's a mixture of things, really. It's not that it's always lying. It's just like I guess we're the ones lying to ourselves if we say the body's lying to us.
I know. That shit is crazy. Because it's like you want to create the separation of it. I think it's hard to not create the separation of it. Because it seems there is no separation.
Oh yeah, well
and
that's the weird thing. Because like even when there is no separation, we could like take something with no separation and separate it just to have an idea of it, because that's a way for us to move through it. But yeah, I think like it's more like body and mind are one for real.
Yeah.
Because it's like all those memories are stored in our body. Anytime we think a thought, I think it's coming from a body part, which is like anytime we perceived reality, it came through our nervous system, through our senses, and it's stored somewhere.
Hell
there's probably air around it.
You look at that fire, you know exactly where you was burned at and why you ain't touching that shit
so no I think more. Immediately. In the air, but everything in the air is real.
Immediately.
Everything in the air around us is like attached to the body. Like air and earth are like
them insides.
There's all those ancient stories where air and earth are like mother and father, or air and earth are like lovers. They're the counterparts.
Yeah, didn't they
They're
just?
The same
I heard them talking the other day about how, like they proved that like our ideas come from outside of our brain, like outside of our head, and they did it by like planting ideas around or outside of the skull, and then like people were able to understand the idea.
And I think it's like the same thing with light bulbs. Like a lot of common misconception about how light bulbs work. We think it's just the electricity going in through the plug, which it might be part of it, but it's like that quantum field around the light bulb. Like the light bulb is getting the light from outside, from everywhere surrounding the bulb. Getting the electricity to create the light from around the bulb. Just like we're getting thoughts from around our head. Because that's also part of the inside of our body, I think, is like our aura.
These thoughts, man, they come from so many different places. Like I think about that now. It's like, the reactions, like when you understand your reactions, where like, and you notice where you're like, I seen somebody sent me this, I think. It was like they had a little kid, putting together like a 1-2-year-old putting together this little puzzle thing. And like, they was just talking normal. Then they had somebody come in and was arguing or starting the argument while the kid was getting ready to put together the next puzzle. He could not put that shit together. He was just looking at it like, what the fuck?
His mind, you could tell he had so much on his mind. He was just a baby.
Yeah, because he looked at them arguing like.
The outer conflict just consumed him.
Yeah.
I think that's part of that. It's like they say the only way out is through, but they also say like in Dante's Inferno, the only way you leave is the way you came in. You got to climb down through underneath Satan's throne. But I think it's like the same way we think our thoughts, we got to unthink them first, and then we can think. Or I don't know, but the same way,
we gotta
we're not really going
unthink
backwards.
them.
We're
We
going
gotta.
forward.
Hey, Theo always says about it. We gotta unthink them first, and it's like, wait, can we do that?
I didn't even know I had
Think
those.
about it like this. If we're thinking what all of our thoughts are like a fountain of water. From afar, it looks like an octopus. But when you get closer, you see it's actually moving water. So then we can like rebuild the fountain, or we can see where is this water source coming from. So many times over, if we ask, and that deals with our expectation.
Octopus tentacles reaching
so we can open
everywhere.
up our mind to see how. Because our mind only creates such a vivid expectation where I turn around, oh, there's the wall again. Because I'm like stuck in an illusion. I'm not really stuck. We create this illusion. We call this Earth, because part of Earth isn't just the ground. It's how we deal with our mind while we're here in our body. But it's like once we start to see how magical the world is, how it's really changing all the time, never was what we thought it was, and our expectations are silly. They're more of something we're creating. We're creating the outcome. We're not really predicting it.
Yeah, we making that. We're creating the outcome. But it's weird because you like when you think about it, I don't think it's the outcome is creating itself from events that happen over time. So it might it seem like you creating it, but it's like you really not. The shit is like literally creating itself.
In a way, it's creating itself. I guess what I'm saying, like we're creating a certain light to see it in, because like within what we're seeing, most of in something constant. The world is always rippling and changing, or it's always like so rich. But yeah, the world itself is alive. Like it's life. If we say something has life in it, then it's alive. Then that would mean that I think that means life itself is alive.
Is alive. Life itself is alive. And life itself is giving life to those things that can give life to other things to keep life going.
But yeah, in a way, it's like we do create these things because we keep perpetuating them, but then we are life itself too. But then at the same time that we're perpetuating them, like it's like life is like that's what Terrence McKenna talks about, the object at the end of the fractal. It's like the attractor, or there's something that's like pulling us towards a different future events. Maybe future events can pull just as much as we can push.
Like how we go every when you take psychedelics, you go, everybody needs to take psychedelics, and it's like everybody's already off psychedelics.
That's the problem. We were born on this shit.
We were born for
Everybody's already off psychedelics. They don't. Everybody don't need them. Okay, what's up, Cozy? Hey, everybody already off the shit.
Yeah, you use a vagina to get in here, and you use a penis to get out.
Nah, the vagina's using us, brother. What?
Oh my goodness,
bro!
I see somebody just say it only takes 33 men to get every woman in the world pregnant.
That's esoteric as fuck. That's a pyramid scheme, 33 degrees.
Yeah, no,
but that's real.
Talk about
you know how many 33 grams of, if they take 33 grams of mushrooms, they'll be able to do it.
And I'm just going, man, golly. I think it's because of how much sperm we produce.
Well, no, it's because we can procreate. We can only procreate every 9 months, but you can make a baby every day. You can give
every
sperm
minute.
I can actually only
every minute.
Once every 9 months. I can only do it once every 9 months. I gotta schedule.
And why is that?
At what point do those kids start to come out like retarded and shit?
What
the
heck? Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't know if we can say that word. Like that.
I mean, what he meant to say was, At what point will the sperm diminish or the eggs
I don't think it will.
I think we just have to take
Yeah,
bred?
the sperm.
It would
Yeah, the
depend on.
sperm. Like the weaker ones
I,
get to the eggs.
yeah,
Exactly.
some of them gonna come out like off. Some
But
of them
like the
gonna come
runts
out
off.
off. Some of them gonna
You
come.
can't say that. Bro.
Some of them gonna come out. Some of them gonna just come out off. I'm just saying.
You can't say that either.
It's all right. It's all right, Cozy. Hey, I don't know. I'm just saying, but he right though.
No, bro,
He
I think
right. He right. You
I think
remember?
the problem would be that they would all come from the one person. Like
I mean,
those people who are whatever their thoughts are. That
no.
might get
See,
weird.
being that Theo is a Rick and Morty
Honestly,
expert.
it'd be
Look, Theo is a Rick and Morty expert. You remember the one with the sperm where Morty had the little horse thing and and Rick tried to do the experiment and it made all the sperm. And then it had the one with the two tails.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it could happen. It could happen. A couple of them just gonna come out off. Them the ones he ain't gonna claim. He gonna be like, nah, I don't, The sperm
drink
most
Coca-Cola.
people are going to control of older generation where availability of the and now they're gonna do it though to where they're gonna make it to where they can actually go in and pick the best sperm. You feel me?
Well, they don't
they're
have
gonna start
to.
picking
Bro, they
something
don't have
based
to.
on like it's the same way
All
we do
they have
selective
to
breeding,
do-
why there's more chromosomes in wheat. Go ahead, Redwin.
All they have to do is with the egg, they can use UV light, and they kill the. I think it's like the cell or the DNA in it, and then they just scrape some DNA off of whoever they want. Like say, Trump. They get some of his DNA, and then they just put it on the egg, and the egg like absorbs the DNA, which is insane. And then like the woman will have a clone baby of Trump. It's crazy.
Wow.
And like that's how simple it is. They just need UV light.
Humans do all kinds of stuff where we choose
I know.
we choose something we think is better based on how it looks. Oh, it's bigger and brighter, and then it turns out to be weaker or worse in the long run because we think we know better than nature.
I mean, we're going to keep building on that. We're going to get it to where, they from test tube babies to everybody coming out of factory.
Well, it was like you were saying, everyone's one of the first movies was like the Alice Guy. She made those movies of the Cabbage Patch babies, and the babies were growing in the cabbages. And like you were saying, the mushrooms told us that we're more evolved plants, which is wild, But it's like, are we just robots because like our bodies operate off of like metal, like potassium is a metal, iron, nickel.
We organic robots.
I think that's like how our intelligence is, though. Like, plants will choose the best genetics. They're just coding.
That's what they were saying.
How part of our inner coding
the water. We came out the water as an organism.
As a pretty ass dolphin.
It started to waddle on land.
We could have just waddled on the land as like a translucent kind of being.
I feel like that too. Like everything is underwater.
Yeah, we're still in the water. It's just not
fluid.
And what's wild is like, dude, like the people who like do the free diving, they dive down like 1,000 feet. They can hold their breath. I guess the record's like 11 minutes and like 30 seconds, something like that. And I mean, like a dolphin, they can hold their breath for like, I think 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes on average, something like that. So, man, that's not that far off, But, man, 11 minutes, that's crazy.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's been.
They say in some like ancient traditions where like, they say the man and the woman will get together on some real yogic, psychedelic type stuff, and they'll like meditate and they'll have some type of sexual union, and then they have a dream, or the male has a dream. The male dreams in the child, so they like call. They're like, "Hello," and some spirit comes in. Jock comes down and shows this spirit right here. Hey, Johnny, come on in.
People don't understand. See, the planet Earth is just an egg in the womb of the universe, and we all the sperm trying to get inside the egg. That's what we are.
Planet Earth is not really the egg.
He in the ball.
True. What if planet Earth is just like the placenta, and then in the esoteric realm, the egg is existing somewhere we can't really see in this physical world, but it's like we're just living in the placenta right now. Like we're a baby. We're in the womb all together.
I need to say, if you see how all the sperm attack an egg inside the womb, and they all gather, just trying to get into it. That should just have me like, whoa, what if that's us? We trying to get inside all of us.
What if we think it's like, the end of the world, we're running out of resources, it's the apocalypse, but really it's like we're just eating up the placenta, like once Earth is done, then we like hatch. But yeah, I feel what you're saying too, true. That could be, we probably all fighting to be the #1 Shiva.
The #1
And in that case, I'm going to sharpen my sword. No, true is the #1 Shiva.
That'll be funny, huh? We all trying to get into that. But then it'd be
like that Rick and Morty when they got the two different races.
Yeah. The dream man. Wait, let's see. The dream man get within the dream world, parallel lives. Someone smoked salvia and lived into the next world 48-year life time in 5-minute dreams. Man.
It's like just the same way we can look at right now. It's like we can see reality in front of us. Really, it's flickering past. Infinite reality is every moment. It's like this one moment is only possible in every infinite other moment.
That Theo, that would be fucked up though. If you was like right now, right, Theo, you here with us, and then like a year from now, you get woke up in another life, and they tell you it was only a salvia trip you was in.
Like 3 minutes later, they're like, and I'm telling you, no, I was in true life stories. I played guitar. Like,
I used to ride my electric bike. You guys, it was like, what the fuck? Like you playing with me? The Amanitas?
How would you know?
I found. You talking about them Amanitas I found in the wilderness? That was fake. None of that shit was real. Like, stop.
Like your mind came up with the perfect idea of what you needed to understand because you were tripping on psychedelics on this alien planet.
Move around from the dream
protection. So, you guys must have had that experience though, where like you don't even remember here, like when you're on the DMT or whatever.
Hey,
but you don't know you're having it when you're
that stuff's wild.
Wait, say that again, Joe Crow. I didn't hear you, Joe Crow.
Yeah, no, where like when you do your thing, like you totally forget you here. You know, like like there is no more Booker, like Booker who, like for a moment you forget everything, and it's like, and it just happens so fast. It's like none of this stuff mattered.
That shit,
like I could see
something though, bro.
I could see myself this like fading out. Like I'm going deeper and deeper. Like this life is fading out. Like I could see a bunch of other lives that I felt just as connected to as this one. And it's all just noise. I'm like,
that shit be crazy though, because when you in that other life or in that other realm, like this one just don't exist no more. Like, and you'll go to so many different ones that when you even get back to this one, you won't even fucking notice this shit. You'll just be like, what the fuck is this? And you got to start putting it back together.
Like, this life don't even exist.
Yeah, that's the TV. Oh, yeah, that's the TV. Oh, yeah, I remember you. You one of my kids, huh?
Yo, that's the part. You have to people in that place, you have to make them matter. Like you have to convince yourself that, oh yeah, that's my nephew.
Yeah.
I gotta
But
stay
then it makes you question.
because I love that boy. Yeah, exactly. I love that boy. I gotta stay here. But nothing else.
For me, I'd be like, oh no, go ahead, Pearson.
I was gonna say, I think that we subconsciously remember that in the next life, so that we don't take too many soul ties on. Like, I mean, we subconsciously remember that, like, in our past life, so that when we get into our next life, we don't take too many soul ties on. Like, we don't want to get, well, not we. I think I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to have kids. I didn't want to have no ties to this universe. I wanted to just experience it maybe for what it was, as opposed to what we think it's supposed to be. I don't know.
Oh.
Shit.
No, I know what you mean. Like you want the once you exit, it was like that was it. You didn't want to leave nothing here to go, well, what about my kids, or what you have less.
We didn't that trauma. Yeah.
To bring you back.
Exactly.
But you just forget it. It be like this motherfucker just don't exist at all, and that shit be funny though. Cause I remember one time, like, I was in so many different places, and like it felt like I got lost. That when I even opened my eyes here, bro, I was looking at my headboard, Joe Crow, like, where the fuck is this? And I looked over at my girl, and I looked around, and I was like, oh shit, this ain't even my reality. And I just closed my eyes and went back to the other places. I'm like, what the
bye?
To where when I started coming down and I was back, and I was like, oh shit, I would have left because I didn't believe it. Once I seen it, I said, this shit ain't real. Ew,
that part.
Like, this is not real.
So here's a question for you, True. So I went to this job interview, right? The other day or yesterday. And it's like, so from what you've learned on your journeys, did I invent everyone that I met at that job interview in my head? Like, did I make that shit all up?
Man.
Yeah, you did.
Do you know what I mean? Because it was weird because it went like really well. It was almost like I felt like I had been waiting for it to go to this interview for like months.
Yeah.
You
manifested it. You manifested it.
It was strange. Because they were like,
wow.
Yeah, and then like, yeah, one person was like, oh, you're from that town. Oh, I used to work right on your street. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Like,
hey, that shit is wild, Crow, because that was like that Joshua Tree experience. Like, I'm talking about, bro, that shit was crazy. That shit was kind of freaky because it was like, it was some entity. I don't even remember what it looked like, but I can clearly see it. And it was like telling me, like, I was talking, like everybody I was talking to, or like just over time or whatever, it was like, nah, you just been talking to yourself this whole time. Nobody really even exists. It never was nobody. It was just you. And it's like, bro, stop fucking playing. Like, that shit is freaky as shit.
You know what I did too? When that shit happened, I was like, I saw the illusion in my mind, and I was like, I was there for so long, but then after I got back for a minute, I'm like, I started smoking some weed. I could walk again. I was like, I'm calling, even though UL's fake and he's really me, I'm like, I'm just gonna pretend he's real right now. I was like, oh yeah, like I can see every reality so vividly, bro. Every reality, I'd be like, yo, UL, how about some sports teams? The weather's pretty good. I'm like, so what are you up to? Like, you doing some work on the car? It's like every thought could blind me for that moment that I was in it.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was a pleasant blindness. I was like, it was.
I feel like we need anchors to keep us in this reality.
All reality is anchors. There is no reality. There
is just anchors.
Yeah. But no, when we come down to being here, they say hope is an anchor for the heart. It's like something something about hope and expectation, the perceived sense of time. Because like once we get out of this space, really the way I've seen it is like it's a beautiful thing. We're not trapped in the matrix. It's like we're not stuck in illusion. We can see every reality at any moment, but we choose to have these, like you said, like an anchor. It's good. It's like while we're here, we have love. Sometimes we think like I'm always gonna love this person, but it's like just because we love one person doesn't mean we don't love another. And it's like, yeah, love never ends, but memories are just memories. Life is just memories and imagination, or it's living.
Yeah, memories and imagination. And
then the
it's
living
wild
moment in the
because
present has no problems in it.
I think this the part that fucks me up is when you start to see it like Joe Crow was just saying. Like say if okay, everybody is just me talking to me. Now if everybody is doing this thing, like everybody is doing this thing, like you are, you know, me, like the same thing. If everybody is doing this thing, you know how fucking fucked up that shit is, bro. Like I can see the connection of it. I think that's what it is I can see the connection of it, of being inside everybody's mind, because when you think of your mother or your father, it's going to be different than mine. Then when you think of the one person that you love the most, it's going to be different than mine, but it's still going to be the one person that you love the most. And when you think about the person that you get your so-called information from, it's going to be different than the person. It's like we put everybody in these positions ourselves and say this person is going to play this part. This person over here is going to play this part. And like, but everybody is doing this one thing.
And then when you get too high, you ask, why are y'all all acting?
Because
why are y'all still acting?
Those drones they've been seeing. Man, oh yeah, they was talking about that earlier, talking about the drones people been seeing in the sky.
Oh yeah, Sun Tzu been talking about him. He said he was dreaming about it for a few years, and now all of a sudden and he's in New Jersey and they're in New Jersey. That's strange.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but I heard some people said that they tried to follow it with their drones, or they had some type of people in the air, and they said that they couldn't catch up with them. Like that those things were at such a high altitude that they were not drones.
They were. He said they were like cars. He said they were not like the little babies. They were big mother bleepers in the sky.
Bleepers though, because fleepers is different than fucker. I mean, excuse me.
I said bleepers.
Well, they're probably
drones over New Jersey.
I can play these bluegrass fiddle tunes. I'm trying to like what I'm doing right now with the guitar is I'm contacting the aliens to tell them that it's all right, that we need upgrades and updates. That's what I do with guitar.
The aliens are already here. They've been here.
Man, you seen them little African kids building these drones? They was building them out of scraps and shit, building drones and all type of crazy shit.
It's probably just like some country we've never heard of because we don't.
Africa.
They got levitating kids and type of. No, it's there. It's somewhere. It's there. You can't say it, but they're levitating. They're building UFOs. They're kids.
Pentagon shoots down Iran mothership, claim amid. What the heck? I didn't see this. This was 2 days ago. Unclear who was opening, who was operating.
Yeah, but that's all a lie.
Thank you.
Now they're saying.
I don't know.
Yeah, they said that was all a lie. It was like all misinformation.
What, that they
like
shot
just
it
today,
down?
this morning. I don't know. Did they shoot something down?
That's what it just said. That's what it's saying right here. Pentagon shoots down Iran mothership, claim amid New Jersey drone mystery.
I don't know, just double check that because the White House, they put out like a press conference this morning, I thought, saying that none of it was from other countries and that was all a lie. But then they're saying like the government was the one saying all that. Like it makes no sense.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like, are they just doing all that to take away our rights of using drones?
you just realized that? You just realized that that's their tactic?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't
No.
understand why they
I'm
would.
just saying that they do it all the time.
It's
They're like,
weird
oh,
though. That is weird though, Joe Crow, because when you think about it, right? They have cameras
that's
that
all they
run
gotta do.
24/7 in every country, somewhere, to where you can already see. You can go online, you can see everything happening wherever right now. So you wouldn't need no drone to fucking go and try to infiltrate
Shogun.io.
nothing. Like the drone, even like when you think about the drones that the drones we got that can actually shine a red beam on your house in here and see everything that's going on.
Did you see the one that looked like a blue beam? It looked like a blue dot in the sky, and like someone had a giant laser pointer and they were just moving it around, and it was like literally a blue beam, and I'm like, well, that's Project Blue Beam. It's all fake. You know, they're just gonna creep people out with like these giant lasers.
Yeah.
It might be aliens though. It just might be aliens.
And you know, and that's the other thing, like Joe Rogan there, you know, he's a part of it. You know, he's a part of the whole psyop because they keep telling him like, oh, just have anyone on you can that's willing to talk about you know, aliens and UFOs.
Have you been watching that little Pentagon thing that they always talking about, the UFOs and shit? Have you watched any of it?
I just see like the updates. Yeah, a little bit. Yep. It's dumb, man, because they ask them questions and they always just deflect the question. They're like, I don't have the exact number, or I don't know, or, you know, that's above. I have to get the answer for you. I'll get back to you on that.
It's above my pay level.
You know, it's all stupid. Yeah, it's above my pay grade.
What if they all just in the Hollywood theater? Them is all paid actors.
It seems so fake.
Yo, and that's what Booker. That is exactly what I'm realizing. Like, I think that this is all just a joke on us. It's all a fucking joke, and we're mad passionate about nonsense.
It's a cosmic joke.
Yeah, it's like the jester told. Yeah, it's like the the cosmic joke.
The jester told you what?
No, well, like remember the jester was like, "Oh, you take yourself too serious."
Yeah.
You know, and then like Batman, why so serious? Like don't take shit so seriously. And it's like, but it's different when like you're the one down here suffering. You know
exactly.
No, Cozy said the weird thing is the drones are morphing into different shapes, like triangular and vanishing in mid-air. Definitely,
I didn't see none of
Project Bluebeam is definitely upon us.
What's different is,
you know, how do you know that's real though?
Who knows about Project Bluebeam unless you specifically researched it? So, even if that is happening, nobody's gonna say, "Oh, that's Project." How many people are gonna say that's Project Bluebeam? Bluebeam.
Wait, especially
It might. I don't know.
Come on.
They not doing nothing.
They're going to make an alien invasion seem very real. People will die, but it's just going to be people doing it, and they're going to blame it on, you know, aliens from outer space.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
That'd be wild.
We definitely ain't gonna take it from real aliens. Like if they do a fake one, the real ones are gonna come in and God smack them with Fractal. I don't think it's gonna go like that.
I'm just that would be something. Like you have to be like, wow, your mind. You have to be some kind of crazy person to do some shit like that. I ain't saying that they wouldn't.
Well,
I don't don't think they're
So
crazy. I think
Werner
they're
von Braun, the Nazi, the Nazi was the one who told us. You know, the guy who ran NASA, von Braun. You know, his
If there
assistant
is a day,
supposedly
I'm
said,
sure
you know,
they can't get along too well.
Let's see. Well,
Like, I
there
think
ain't
the
no
day that there
aliens,
is
man.
really like to
control the
stop.
trip.
I think it's like the
Control
government
life,
of our
take
mind.
over reality per se.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the
it's just
Watchmen
another site. You know, it's just another.
counterpart.
You know, like you can't.
Computers.
But the thing is, you can't believe anything in video because I mean,
AI.
He said the master creator said them stars been up there twinkling because them aliens was sending code to other star systems. Wake up, people.
Twinkle, twinkle, wake up. Yeah, one time I was there, bro.
Man.
I was overlooking
there ain't
Elliott
no
Bay.
stars,
Like, I
there
was
ain't no
looking.
planets. That shit's all fake.
They got a big ass like bay over Seattle, like downtown Seattle. I was looking towards the skyline of downtown Seattle with a big ass bay. I seen a ship fly up, and at the time I was into UFOs and shit. Smoking a blunt with my girlfriend at the time. I was looking. I even told her, I was like, I saw this
Well,
one
that's the
light
problem,
that looked
bro.
more like fire. It didn't
You
look
were
exactly like the
hallucinating.
headlights of all the other airplanes. It had like more of an orange glow to it. So I was like watching it, and as it came up, I was like, look at that thing right there. She saw it at the right when I told her look at it. It stopped in the sky, and instead of flickering, it stopped flickering. It was completely still. You would have thought it was a star. We watched it for like 2 minutes, and then it starts to move around in a little circle, like back and forth, like it's distressed, shooting off flames off of it. And then all of a sudden, the flames shut off, and it flies a different direction than it came. And it's just a little black orb. It looks like it's getting bigger and smaller as it's going farther away, morphing.
You
I
wasn't
saw
on,
that shit
It's all
like 10 years
demons,
ago.
bro.
you wasn't on no Amanitas?
He was. You already know.
No, I was just smoking a blunt, bro. But when I was off the Amanitas, that's another story for another time. The alien.
So true. Have you been on any spaceships when you were tripping on mushrooms? Did they come down and pick you up and carry you away?
No.
Did they come down?
I
and
was
pick
on
you
some
up
shit
and
though.
carry you?
I seen like this man, that shit looked like it was an alien. But it looked like an alien mixed with like robotic like shit. That shit was fucking crazy. And it had this big ass clear board it was on doing some shit. And it like looked over at me and see me, and then it like, I don't know, it made itself disappear. It made the whole shit disappear. That shit was fucking freaky. I seen aliens a few times, bro. But I don't know. Sometimes I don't.
Could it have been like some kind of angelic being though, like from the spirit world? You know, was it like transparent? Could it go? You know,
It's
was it
trans over.
physical?
I think it's all the same thing. That's what I be thinking at times. I be thinking it's all the same thing.
Yeah, it is all the same
You know,
thing.
it's just
I think we just
morph it into what
different
you want it
words.
to at the time you want to morph it into. Oh, you want it to be an angel? Oh, it'll be an angel. You want it to be an alien? It'll be an alien.
Or a fairy.
A fairy?
Yeah, but like,
It'll be a fairy.
well, like if you read on old fairy accounts, like people running into fairies, they like said the same thing. Like they were brought somewhere and the fairy shoved shit up their ass and all kinds of stuff.
That's what I couldn't understand.
Come
I
on
don't get
now.
that.
Come
I don't get
on.
that. The probing thing always throws me off.
I know.
It's like, who even
It's
started that?
bullshit.
Who started
It's probably
that
because
shit?
like they
the
were
black
afraid.
goo. The black goo.
Yeah.
And the black goo can become anything, bro. That's the wild thing. And I think that's what the mind is. The mind is that black goo. And it can create, transform.
What is the
It can make anything. That's why we build temples and shit like that.
It's anti-central fluid.
what is the deal? What is the deal with like way back in the day? Everybody like molested little boys.
Hey,
Like, what is the
hold
deal
on,
with
wait.
that?
We on live though. We gotta watch what we say,
Oh.
bro.
Well, I
We
didn't know,
gotta
I didn't
watch
know
what
we
we
can
say. We still live.
You know, or
Okay,
I
so
was just
these
joking.
I'm not
things are
trying to get
actually
trouble. So,
happening.
y'all remember, we are live, so you have to say it in a way to where we understand you, but you can't say it because they're, you can't trouble.
7-Eleven was an inside
But he's
job.
right though.
Well, I didn't know that word was a
7-Eleven was
no
a part-time
word.
job.
Oh, you can't tell the truth on live. You can't tell the truth on live. You gotta be fake. You gotta act.
Yeah, I forgot. Well, I didn't know it.
Yeah,
I get so confused.
but the crazy thing about that, Crow, since you brought it up, is that's been happening for a long ass time, bro, and it's still happening today.
So, like what we were saying about the fairies, and using their fairy wands, like could it come from that? Like what I wasn't supposed to say.
I don't know.
Like it could. I don't know.
Take you to the store.
Because like the thing that don't make no sense is the Betty and Barney Hill. They were up in New Hampshire, which is my state, right? And like I listened to her. She did hypnosis, and she described everything, right, dude? She said like she was in a room, right, and there was a table and like a light shining in her eyes, and she said like they showed her like a paper book and they showed her a paper map, and I'm like, what kind of aliens got paper books, man? Like where's the tablets, where's the TVs?
Yeah,
Where's the hologram?
Like come on, like
where's the hologram?
Why are you not showing me shit in the air, bro? Showing me fucking holograms.
And that's why I'm like, and then because she said like a guy with blonde hair, he was a human, came in and started talking to her. The blonde hair, blue-eyed people, it's like, well, was she just picked up by some Nazis? That could have been.
Okay,
and
okay.
They just like there's certain drugs that they can give you that put you in a hypnotic state,
Yeah.
That's very common. That's not hard. You do that or like roofie someone, they'd be all messed up. They wouldn't have a clue of what was going on.
Also,
you would have
we never met an alien, so we don't know. All we know is what we've seen on TV, and that's just make believe. So we don't know what the hell an alien is supposed to look like, or sound like, or act like. We don't know if they're just
back
like
then.
you and me.
We do know exactly what an alien is supposed to sound like.
I have no idea, but I was thinking the other day, like, what if dogs are aliens? What if lizards are aliens? Like, what if any other
They
species
are Anubis.
Alien?
Yeah, Anubis. Well, yeah, it is, right?
Oh yeah,
what if
Betty
they're not?
and Barney, wasn't it Betty and Barney Hill or something like that? What was their name?
Yeah, Betty and Barney Hill. The woman, they were.
What made it crazy? It was a black dude and a white woman. I think at that time, that shit is wild.
Yeah. And then like he died shortly after, like a few years later, of a massive heart attack, man, which was really sad. So like that's the thing, is they were wondering like, was they just a part of? Because dude, in New Hampshire, man, when you get way up north, there's nothing up there. There's like one road, bro. Literally, the highway, it's not a highway. It's like you got one lane. It's like on your side. One lane. It's like a 2-lane road.
Just goes and goes.
There's nothing up there. Yeah, and it just goes.
I think
there's
that,
a couple little towns.
What trips me out, Crow, is the fact that like you can't even have like it's hard to understand say an old account of an alien abduction or something like that, because they didn't call them those back then. Like way back, like I don't know, they probably had a different name for them. I don't know, like way back.
Yeah, no, they called them fairies
in the Egyptian days and shit, like times of Pharaoh. Like if they was telling the story, it wouldn't be like, it'll be like, okay, an angel came down in the ship, and like it'll be like a Bible story or something.
I know, and that's the thing, is I think That's what I think, man. Like, because, dude, I used to be all into the alien thing, and they'd be like, they can walk through walls, and they can walk through doors, and I'm like, dude, and I didn't want to admit it to myself, but I'm like, okay, that sounds like a ghost, that's a spiritual thing.
Yeah, I think I just did.
They
I
just
didn't want
like
to
it
believe
sounds
in.
cooler.
I didn't want to believe in
I
aliens
used to listen to
because.
Billy Carson.
Hey, Crow, I didn't want to listen.
Down.
I didn't want to believe aliens because I didn't want to get probed. Okay.
I think this is like a comment.
They trying to get probed, so I said I don't want to believe in them because if they actually come, they gonna probe you.
But then, but one thing that is strange is like those kids in Africa, like why would they lie? Like all these kids in Africa, but maybe all they saw was just some like cutting edge spaceship, like some cutting edge like flying saucer government, thing, and they just like they were flying over Africa, and they're like, well, why don't we just land and fuck with them? We'll just keep our suits on, and they'll just think they're aliens or something,
Yeah.
I don't know. Wouldn't that be fun though?
He said, "Do you believe in samsara, Hindu mystics, and the never-ending cycle of life? The only way out is enlightenment. Is there a connection to DMT?" I don't know. I don't know. I feel like if you like trapped in yourself, like there is really no way out because there was never a way in.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like it's just the way we think of it in our culture. Like the same science, the real science that the top cutting edge scientists are making, they're not going to be able to explain that to a layperson, so they make up a simple model like playing with blocks. This is what happens when this, but it's not really. It's just simplified. It's kind of a metaphor. So I think everything is such allegory, such metaphor. It's that coding of reality. It's all embedded files, zip files. So it's not really that simple to look at. You'd have to look at it yourself and be really still for a long time. But I think it's all true and it's all not true depending on how you see it.
Yeah.
How that actually connects. Because the truth isn't just one word. It's how it connects to everything else.
Everything is death. Life is just death looking at itself in the mirror and vice versa type shit.
You could say we're trapped in our perception, we're trapped in our body, trapped in our mind, or you could say it's an honor to have this type of continuous memory and imagination machine for the time being. But when you're in the dream, you're in the dream, so it seems like seems a certain way.
Yeah, when you die, you be on the other side of the mirror. You just got to play your life again backwards. It's just gonna go backwards next time. You did it forwards. You said I'm gonna do it backwards this time. Oh shit, bro! I am high.
Reality where you're born as an old person, and the older you get, the younger you get. But now we're just in a past life fractal review.
Y'all never had that on the experience to where, like, it seemed like time was going backwards and it wasn't going forward.
No, but it does slow down.
Yeah, bro. I had time a hiccup. I had time like do a somersault where I was in the future. I was in the present. And then I started going so fast into the future, relatively, where I like stopped, or I did like a somersault or a backflip, and then I was in the past, and then it caught up to the future. Or one time I was on DMT, and I was like, I could see through my eyelids. I didn't know if my eyes were open or closed. If I heard it one more time, I would have been surely blasted. But I was like in a weird zone of DMT, and I was like, wait, what happened? I opened my eyes, and I was like, oh shit, they were closed. And I was like, wait, what about my DMT trip? And it was like, in my mind, I thought back. I could feel myself traveling back in time. I said, what about the trip? And it said, oh, what about this one? And I went back a minute.
To that,
seconds.
Yeah.
And then I flew through outer space and shit. And I was like, I did have a trip. Wait, but I'm having it now. Then, here. Hello?
Yeah, I remember my eyes was closed and I seen the lady and she was like dancing and she was telling me something. I forgot what she was telling me, but then she walked up to me and she bent down and like she was lifting something up and like she was pulling it up and as it came up, it was my eyelids opening. And it was like, I was like, what the fuck? I was just sitting there looking at the sun. Like, I think she was like kind of telling me, it's like, dang, you like, I don't know. Like, I went as far as I could go. I don't know what type of shit she was saying. I forgot. But she lifted my eyelids literally up. And I was just like, whoa, that was trippy. DMT
Or
is
yeah,
some
like
shit,
when
man.
yeah, the DMT, like when I had that one time where it like the lady stuck her hands on my chest and she like cracked that black ooze shit. She like took it off around my heart and like oh man, I could feel it. It just and I felt so much lighter.
Yeah.
But then it's like the longer we're in this place, it's like when you're stressed out, you can feel the heaviness of it. I can't stand that, man.
Yeah,
I
you
don't
get.
think that's supposed to be here.
Yeah,
That
but
heaviness we get.
no,
Yeah, it's
it
not.
is, but like I think that's one thing that it kind of shows us and teaches us is that you the one even though the world is doing all these things, you don't have to carry that burden of what the world is doing. You don't have to, but you choose to.
And
You
it's like we
choose
learn
to.
what happiness and
You
peace
choose to
is
every
through
day.
that.
Yeah, you choose to carry it. And you wonder why it seems like it's so heavy. It's like because you choosing to carry that over there. Put the shit down. You
Yeah,
don't have
no.
to.
Why can't I just put it down?
Yeah, you don't
Like, take
have
it
to.
off.
Like you don't have to believe in aliens. You don't have to believe in that. I'm not saying that it's not true or it's true or what other. It's
Yeah,
like you don't have to just be whether it's true or not. It's like it's something you don't
yeah.
have to carry, but we'll carry the burden of whatever. We'll carry the burden of death.
Yeah. Did you see that movie, The Northman, about the Viking?
Oh nope, I didn't watch that one. That was one I didn't get.
Oh, you should check that out. Because like his dad dies, so he vows to like get revenge someday, and then he grows old and he goes to the shaman, and the shaman gives him this special sword, and the sword can only be taken out during the nighttime when the moonlight is out. Otherwise, you can't pull it out of the
The holster,
the holster.
or yeah,
Yeah,
I
the
don't know what
holster.
they call
It
it
won't
then.
come out, and because like, and it's cool because like in he has it during the day, and this guy tries to pull it out, and he can't get it out. But I don't know. Well, there's a scene in the movie where like he's dying, and this Viking angel comes out of the sky, and she's flying on this like unicorn basically, and the unicorn has wings,
Yeah.
and he's basically dead, and she comes and picks him up and throws him on the horse and rides him up into the moon, like into the sky at night. But what is really happening is it's like his girlfriend is putting him on the back of a horse. You know what I mean? So they mix fantasy with reality, kind of like a
Oh
trip.
dang, yeah.
And like in the beginning, they trip when he's a boy because he's supposed to be a king when he grows up. Um, so they get a jester. There's a jester in the beginning of the movie, and the jester makes fun of the king's brother, and the king is like, he's like, relax, relax, brother. He's just making a jest. Relax, because like he made fun of him.
Yeah.
But like then that night comes and they're like in this big they take this steam, they go in this steam room and they start tripping, and it's crazy, man. Like they go into his like family tree. I don't know, you gotta see it. It's
Wait,
wild.
what is it called?
It's
The Viking?
the no, the Northman.
The Northman.
The Northman.
Dang,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I ran across that movie, but I never did even try to watch it.
No, yeah, it's just like there's just like a white guy, and I think he's holding a sword. I don't know. And that other chick, the chick that was in the new Mad Max movie, she's in it. What's her name? I don't know. She's like the blonde haired girl.
I don't know. I'm trying to see right. I'm
Uh,
trying to pull it. Okay, yeah.
it's pretty intense.
I know this movie, but I never did. I never did watch it. Nicole
Because like
Kidman.
they show like
Oh,
yeah, Nicole Kidman's like
Taylor.
his mother.
Anaya Taylor.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's crazy. It's like one big trip, man.
Yeah.
It's wild. There just aren't that many good movies nowadays, but that one was actually pretty good, I thought.
The ocean becomes an alien, but just a goddess on DMT. That just your heart. My bad. Hey, yeah. Oh man, I
What?
see alien ships
You
come
said-
out the water on DMT. That shit was fucking crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Like when you go by the ocean and trip, like smoke DMT, that shit be weird as shit because you know how you try to like, when you at home and like you try to make it dark, and it's like when you
Yep.
looking out into the ocean, it's darkness anyway. You can't see nothing else
Oh,
but
yeah.
darkness. Like unless the moon is up and the moon is having that reflection off the water, but it's still just straight darkness. So it all just kind of goes crazy when you like do DMT and like the darkness like that.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
like doing it in a dark room. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
But,
a
like,
spaceship
the thing
come
is,
out the water.
how do we? What if they're just humans that have lived underwater for like thousands of years? Like, what if it's just people like us?
From Atlantis.
You know what I mean?
Atlantis.
Yeah, because I had heard, I'm like, oh, they like made these flying machines that ran on crystals. Well, supposedly it wasn't crystals. They were flying the machines with their minds. It was like telepathy, or I get all that stuff confused.
Yeah, telepathy.
And yeah, they're like moving it with their mind. And I'm like, damn, it's like we think, people think we're so far advanced, but we can barely move. Like, there's like people that can barely move pencils, and they're like, oh, that's amazing. It's like, yeah, you moved a pencil, bro. Try a car. But it's like it's in our fantasies. It's like it's in Star Wars, like Yoda, he lifted up the whole, fighter jet out of the swamp.
Yeah. Cozy said when I did shrooms earlier this year, I legit saw a UFO circling the moon, and I was just looking at it for so long. Bro, I see, man, when the more we talk about it, the more times I can say that I seen it. Yeah, I remember more because I even seen off the 4ACO, I seen a UFO, and it was fucking crazy because I'm like going, bro, like this shit is wild. Like I'm like into it because I'm seeing this thing flying around and moving and doing certain things, and then I'm like, what the fuck, a UFO? And then it shined. I forgot what happened, but the way it shined the red beam down, and then when the beam came down, that's when I could like all the air, bro, like the air I could see. I could see all the little fucking hieroglyphs and different shit in the air, bro, to where the air was alive, like it was water, but then it was above the sky, it was like these two aliens. They look like machine elves or something. How that picture of the guy that made the machine elves, they look like crystal entities. They look like that, and they were moving. One of them was moving his finger, controlling the damn spaceship, and looked at me and was like, "Let's see how he react." And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? But you could see them two creatures that was actually creating it. And I was just like, bro, that shit had me stuck. It had me stuck. I seen many. Like one time, I seen the whole sky was like a mothership. The whole sky from as far as you could see, like you couldn't see nothing else but the ship. Like no matter which
Damn.
way you looked, and I was just
Well, no,
like,
like
hell no.
is when I'm on that, when I do that and I look up in the sky, it don't look like space. It looks like there's a giant some kind of like dome or something over our world,
Yeah,
you know. And
yeah,
and like when I'm seeing it, I'm like, oh, the stars are literally showing me like what is up there, because you would see more stars, but it's being blocked by this giant thing that's up in,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But
I
then like
I always see
when
that dome on
everything wears
shrooms.
off, I can't make it out no more.
Yeah, I always
You
see
know,
that dome
it's
on shrooms. But man, I
like I
gotta go.
lose it
I gotta,
eventually.
I
You
gotta
know.
go. I gotta go pick up the kids. I'm tripping. I was gonna stay on. I'm probably gonna come back later, but I gotta get the little ones. But thanks, Crow, for
All
stopping
right,
by,
man.
bro. And Ari
Yeah,
Kristen,
be
Ari
good.
Big Chill, and everybody else out there. Thanks for stopping by. Hit that like button on your way out, and we'll chop it up next time. Golly, we be everywhere over the place. But it's cool because we can just have conversations about everything.